I got one of the original guys, Noah Harms.
Hey, I'm back.
He's back. It's been a long time since we did one, and I say this every time because it does take me a long time to do podcasts, but what the hell? We're here anyway.
A year at least since I've been on one.
I think so. I think it's been all summer at least since I did one. The last one I did, Brett talked me into doing one, and I come out and did one and promised I'd do another one soon, and then
It's
I guess
tough,
soon for me is 3 months later. So yeah. So what have you been up to?
Oh, just working.
Working the ups driver.
Yep. Started fly fishing.
Yeah. How was
Kind
that
of weird
trip?
from where I'm from, but it's amazing.
Yeah, we took a trip out to Zortman the other night, and our relatives from Florida said, "Man, it's beautiful there." I was like, "Yeah, but this is 60 miles from where we're at."
No kidding.
So we're not. We're out.
Oh, I know. Like, we were coming back from that vacation in Libby, and as soon as I could see Browning, you're leaving the mountains, I kept looking in the rear view. I'm like, God damn it.
So sad. Yeah.
This sucks.
So how'd you like fly fishing?
Oh, it's amazing. I'm a diehard elk hunter, but I'm not even lying. I would give that up if I could fly fish all fall long. Yeah,
No
it is
kidding,
just. Well,
Nice.
geez, I mean, I love the mountains.
Yeah, I do too.
And then you're weighted up to your tits in the water, and you're in the mountains and beautiful water. The sounds, it's just relaxing. And
were you wearing like waders all the way up there? Did you get cold at all? Or
no, well, I have like these neoprene ones, so they're pretty insulated.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking forward to using them this weekend. I might just go wet.
You're going this weekend? Oh,
Yeah, we're going to Belgrade tomorrow.
Nice.
I'm gonna go fishing.
Hell yeah.
As much as I can, but.
Fuck yeah, that sounds like fun. I've never been fly fishing.
Oh, dude, I honestly, first time I tried it, I don't think I'd ever been so happy fishing. Like,
Really?
and I love fishing. I grew up
Yeah.
fishing, man, but I hadn't even caught anything yet. I was just standing out in the water, and I was like, this is just supreme. This is amazing.
Something about the mountains and the clear water, and
I love
it is
the
pretty
mountains.
amazing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you look down, and there's fish all over, and you're just, wow, it's almost unreal at some points.
I hope nobody from California is listening. They want to move up here now.
Nah, shit. I will say this: Corona's just as bad here as it is everywhere else. Do not come here. It's people dead in the streets. It's insane.
Yeah, Corona is a little crazy, man. Who knows how long they're gonna let it last?
I don't know.
I mean, not that they're letting it last, but
depends on what you believe in.
I know you about get crucified if you have any other opinions too.
Right?
It's the
No
sad
kidding.
thing. I don't even know what to think.
You can't say anything without being insensitive to someone.
Well, and then part of it too is we're out in the middle of nowhere here, where it's not like we're in the middle of New York City or something.
Oh yeah,
but
we're definitely blessed where we're at. But
it's, when shit like this hits the fan, I'm like, man, am I glad I live in the middle of Montana in nowhere,
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, it's definitely a blessing, but at the same time, it's a curse, like what we were just talking about. I mean, I love the High Line. It's got views and things people don't see and are amazed by, but I'm almost to the point where I want to leave.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go to the mountains. I feel like I'm meant to live in the mountains.
I feel the
somewhere,
same.
dude.
I've always felt that way. Like when I lived in Deadwood, I was like, this is I'm supposed to be in the mountains. But
yeah, I mean, I basically every summer grew up over in the Black Hills. So.
Then again, I don't really know anybody that wouldn't love the mountains either, I mean,
maybe people in the mountains all say that.
They're like, I want to see.
Tired of all these pine trees.
Yeah,
God damn it.
I'm tired of not being able to see across to the next mountain. Once you see that mountain enough, I suppose you.
Oh, especially over where I want to go live. Like, it's really socked in, and all the valleys are really close together. But I don't know, it's beautiful.
I've always loved the mountains, and I think even that, like, we've been taking quite a bit of trips out to Zortman, and I love hanging out there.
Our little mountains are badass too. Like, they're big enough you can get lost in them for a few days.
Yeah. And if you know where to go, there's some pretty cool stuff. Like, we hiked up a couple little drainage waterfalls and stuff the other day that... What in the hell? Oh. Speaking of my Traeger grill, it just beeped. Carol must have been cooking something on it.
It's done.
Yeah.
Prime temperature.
Yeah, shut down, finished is what it told me.
All right.
But no, we went up and we went like 3-4 days and stayed in the campground there, but hiked around, then went to the plunge and whatnot. But man, laying awake at night, looking up into the sky and seeing all the stars. 2 of the nights there were no clouds in the sky at all.
Oh, dude.
So you could see everything. I was kicking myself. I just got a new telescope and I never brought it. But laying there, I don't know. I've been staring at the sky since I was a little kid. I don't know if I've ever seen more moving shit in the sky
I hear you. I'm the same. Well, we
Dude.
grew up in Malta. I mean, you can try not to see the stars. You're still
Yeah.
going to see them. And I am with you. There has been
It was creepy.
more, I guess, stars, whatever you want to call them.
Satellites, I
Satellites
guess,
is what, but more than ever.
Yeah, we laid there, and I guess it probably is all satellites, different internet and different things like that. But the hell is that?
Thunder?
Maybe. Well, we're talking about the aliens, and here they come.
Jeez, see, they're listening every time. Something happens.
So anyway, we're looking at the sky and seeing all these things flying by, and then all of a sudden this, I mean, brighter than an airplane, bigger than a flash of an airplane, just goes shooting across, and I'm like, I watched it forever till it went down, but I mean, it was hauling ass, but you got no explanation for it. What the hell could it be, you know?
I know. Well, and then there's been multiple nights where I have seen it. I'll sit there and, like I was telling you, I'll see one go by, and then right behind it another one, and all the ones I've seen have been in like the same movement. They're all going the same direction, about the same distance apart. And I've counted up to like 15.
Yeah, these ones were all, I mean, there was quite a few going different directions, but I haven't seen them yet. But that Elon Musk Starlink, I think is what they call it, with he's going to give internet to the world, and it's all these satellites that go like right in a train, but they literally look like it's a train of satellites going on.
Yeah, that must be it, because
some people have seen pictures of it on Facebook and shit.
Huh. Well, hopefully that's what it is. Not some fleet of ships up there just sizing us up, man.
Well, Pentagon just came out like last week saying that they have parts of a craft that was definitely not manufactured on this Earth. Did you see that?
Yeah.
They've
basically come out and said that there's other shit out there that...
Well, the Navy released those classified files about the Tic Tac video they called, you know, where they're like, we don't have this technology, and if somebody on Earth does, it's the game changer.
Right.
And then they come out and say, well, parts of this craft were not made on Earth, so like either it was China make them on the moon, or
no shit. Maybe there's still Nazis up there
who knows?
Building shit, you know, that they seem to be the guys
that's what they claim to say from back in the day, but who knows, man.
They seem to have a leg up on all that shit back in the 30s.
I love to see like when Trump does the interviews and he's like, you guys would love to know like certain things, you know, you're like, he's really playing it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Going, I wonder if he actually knows that fucker.
Well, have you ever seen anything about the Majestic 12?
I don't think so. Maybe.
These were supposed documents that released however many years ago that was when they released all the documents to the public. And according to these documents that are like CIA documents, in just after World War II, because of all the shit we found after the Germans surrendered, all the technology we were finding and figuring out what they were doing, like we formed a group of people, and there was like 3 of them that were German scientists that were Nazis.
That's NASA. Werner von Braun that started it, like, was a Nazi.
And according to these documents, apparently since like Eisenhower was president, they've met with aliens.
Huh.
Like in undisclosed locations. They've met, like Eisenhower's great-granddaughter was on there or something.
Really?
And she was saying that he never did say right out that they did meet with extraterrestrials, but she's, according to her, you know, she said that her great-grandpa told her some stories that now that she's older, like she's almost certain that did happen.
Well, just recently I just heard it on Rogan too. The Minister of Defense, the former Minister of Defense of Canada, says that there's several aliens in the United States government. Yeah. Which is like, I mean, that's so, like, I mean, I don't know. I guess if I don't really think Nancy Pelosi looks human, but no, I'm just kidding. I don't
think about Zuckerberg. That dude looks like a freaking
he was on
robot.
Yeah, getting interviewed by Congress yesterday, and he's sitting there just blinking and not even moving.
I swear to
like,
God, it's like he twitches out.
He's got to be AI.
Comes back. Yeah, no kidding. Holy.
It's kind of creepy. I wonder if anytime there will be any disclosure and we'll like find out all this conspiracy shit they've just been feeding us just so we had something to talk about, or if it's something real. Or
my personal belief is that, you know, they've got everything is run by something, you know. So if they didn't want us to know things like that, and if it, you know, they wouldn't let us.
Yeah.
You know?
Until recently, when everybody started making their own YouTube videos and personal journalism, everything came straight through certain companies. Yep. You know, you didn't have any secondhand account was by some crazy guy like the guy in Independence Day that's like, I seen aliens.
Yeah, no
like
shit, yeah.
that's. But now you're getting more and more personal accounts of people that are actually questioning the government and putting things out. But then you upload it to Facebook, and Facebook censors it, or Twitter bans you, or because they don't like what you're saying. And
well,
what the hell?
Well, in like these more present times, too, have you seen? It's a little older movie now, but you've got Hulu. Have you seen The Hunt for Skinwalker? The Hunt for it's about the Skinwalker Ranch in Utah.
Yeah, I've heard about it, but
Dude, that place is like
I heard it was pretty
Atlantis
creepy.
of everything. Yeah. Like they had people say they see ghosts or spirits,
like
orbs,
mutilated cows,
cattle mutilations, Bigfoot, giant like dire wolves that people are saying, and that's what the ancient Indians there or whatever said, that those were skinwalkers, and like, oh man, like in the last.
Well, I heard, there was some. I can't remember. Like, there's been a couple families run off there too, or something, and then. And they actually had government come try and investigate it. And
this one guy, they investigated it for like 13 years.
Yeah, that's.
And they
I
left
heard about
with
it on the
more
Rogan.
questions than answers, you know, like. And now whoever owns it now is like purely, like nobody ranches out there anymore. It's like purely for scientific study, and they still don't know anything.
It's creepy
like
as hell.
They claim like they've taken infrared videos of Bigfoot climb out of a wormhole that just opens. Runs off into the trees, you know, like Bigfoot would do, and then they'll video it, and he'll come back, wormhole will open up, climb back in, and he's gone. But then when they go to do the footage, it doesn't work.
It's gone.
You know, like, I mean, that would explain why we can't find Bigfoot.
Yeah, how crazy would you think that you are if you're the guy videoing it, and there he goes in a wormhole, and
little wormhole, big hairy creature climbs.
I swear I saw it. I mean, how could anybody ever take you serious if you're trying to?
I know.
You'd have to have some really, really good friends that are like, all right, Noah, I believe you.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like, they've had people go out there that, like, don't even want to film shit. And they're like, I just want to come meditate out here. And they'll bring them to one of the hotter spots on the ranch. Yeah. And they'll be attacked by, like, certain entities or actual creatures come out of the forest and, like...
Weird.
Like, insane. The last people that owned that house, before it was, like, a scientific study...
Yeah.
Like, they had multiple deadbolts on their doors. All the windows were barred off. Like, all the people out there that work now carry weapons because they don't know what the hell's out there.
If they got wormholes, what the hell's an AK going to do for them?
Well, that's what I mean. It would make me feel better, I guess.
Well, obviously, yeah.
I don't know. Whatever the hell's going on
too crazy to get off yourself anyway. I don't know. Like,
and you know what's nuts is it's only like 498 acres, like just under 500 acres. But everything happens out there.
Yeah, they were talking about it on Rogan. I can't remember. It was George Knapp and somebody else just recently.
Yeah,
you'll have to listen to that podcast, and they were just talking about it. And that was the day I was out in Zortman listening to it. I'm laying in bed listening to it, and then of course when I get out of the tent to go take a pee, and I look up at the sky and see all these stars, and I'm like, holy shit! And then that night we go through. There's supposed to be no rain. It dumps on us, hails on us, everything else. We're in the tent, obviously. And then it quits, and I get out, and like I said, I go out to take a piss, and I look up, and it's like there was no cloud in the sky, and I'm like, what in the hell?
Oh, it's
just clear.
Weird.
Skies everywhere, and I'd been listening to that all night, so I got myself half freaked out.
Exactly. You can do that if you get too deep into that shit, but...
It makes me wonder, man. I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this. How many other things do you watch that make you wonder and think to the point where you're like, holy God, like...
Yeah.
What if that is true? Like, Jesus. That would just be, that's a game changer there.
Well, how deep some of the stuff's coming out, and I mean, you know, they call you a conspiracy theorist, but I mean, obviously they're catching Ghislaine Maxwell and Todd Epstein and all the nasty shit that's been going on with them, that everybody for years was told they were conspiracy theorists. I mean, like Alex Jones is the guy that fucking years ago said that there's these pedophiles and they've been doing this, and everybody's like, he's just this crazy conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Well, then it comes out that it's true.
Well, yeah. How many conspiracy theorists are there today compared to the people that are still believing the same old bullshit we've been taught?
So is it a conspiracy, or is it you just know different knowledge? Or
exactly.
So I seen a thing today that, you know, everybody was talking about Tom and Rita Wilson, or Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson. Everybody said that they might be part of it. They were on the island and this and that. Well, anyway, they just moved to Greece. Well, Greece, they're supposedly becoming citizens there. Greece has laws that pedophilia is a mental issue and not an actual crime, and that they can't extradite them from there without certain treaties and all this. So I'm like, why would all the, like that be the one thing?
No
I mean,
shit.
it's like these dots connect, but
No kidding.
or what do they say all the time? Like, how many coincidences before it's mathematically impossible type
no
thing?
Shit,
You know?
yeah.
It's fucking freaky, man.
Oh, dude, it's... I don't know. Just in the past few years is where I've really, like, started getting into things, and really it all started on accident. Like,
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, I stumble across something, but
Yeah.
it's all because the internet's getting faster and more people are
Exactly.
connected. And who the hell knows? I
don't
mean,
know.
maybe it's because Donald Trump's president and
I'm convinced, like...
they're shitting their pants about it. Who knows?
I'm convinced things aren't the way everyone thinks they are, though. Like,
No.
there's no way in hell.
No, I think you're right. I think there's been so many things that have been secretive or been swept under the rug, and that media has covered up. Or like that's the biggest thing to me is
Exactly.
how many lies are coming out that they're catching the media in nowadays. That
Mm-hmm.
you're like, how in the hell? How many years did they
Exactly.
do this to us? You know?
Yeah. Well, I think ever since America has been a thing, just until, like we were just saying, technology has got to the point where people can go out and find things they didn't have access to. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's been like that for a long time. Like,
Well, if they could fly to the moon before, you know, or
right?
whether they did or didn't, but if they could, And
Or you hear
humans
the
don't have this.
conspiracies that we did go to the moon and there was already people up there that were like, you
Yep.
can't be here, you got to go.
yeah,
Like,
get the hell out of here.
that's another thing. Like, do you believe that? Do you believe we even landed on the moon? There's so many things that could be that it's
I-
hard to decide which one you want
I
to
like
believe.
going deep down that rabbit hole and find. I mean, like, there's sometimes you'll get so deep down a rabbit hole that, fuck, there's lizard people, this and that, and all of a
Oh,
sudden
man.
you're like, man, how deep do I want to take this?
Well, that Majestic 12 thing I was talking about,
Mm-hmm.
we sent, this is like documented,
Actually.
we sent a fleet of Navy ships up to Antarctica after World War II because
Oh, yeah.
we knew that there were still Nazis up there because we both had bases there. And I don't know the exact number of ships. I want to say it was like 8. You know, a pretty good sized force, however many men, soldiers they brought with them. And when they got back, like, a number of their ships were sank by the guy, the whole dude in charge of the whole thing said their ships were constantly attacked by crafts that came up out of the water and they just stood no chance against. Like, they did what they wanted to almost to, like, prove a point and then would leave them alone. Like,
Wow.
and they ended up getting to that base or whatever. There were still, like, over 10,000 armed Nazi soldiers there that fought for it for...
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard. I've went down that Antarctica rabbit hole a bit too, and it's pretty crazy. That
Jeez.
I mean, it does kind of make you wonder why. I mean, I know it's cold as fuck down there, but I mean, it's cold as fuck up here in the middle of
Right.
winter. But why doesn't anybody figure out something to do with
I
that
don't
amount
know.
of cold or that amount of? But
Have you seen that they've discovered that underneath the ice sheets, like 7 miles below the ice, that there's pockets of air that maintain a temperature of like 65
Yeah.
to 70 some degrees year round,
yeah, which
and that there's giant holes cut down into the ice? Like,
it makes you really
when the
wonder
ice
what-
age happened, like, why didn't it freeze those big holes? You know, like,
maybe they came after the ice age.
that's what I'm
I mean-
saying. Like, I think something got down in there. Because Antarctica is the least explored continent. You
Yeah,
know,
and everything else
We
in-
basically don't know anything about that place.
Yeah, I mean, but
Or maybe we do and they just don't tell us, you know? It's one of the two. Like,
and everything else, yeah, but you got to be on a certain ship. You got to have certain passes just to be able to even
yeah.
go down and explore it. It's not like you can just
Well,
catch a plane and.
You know, like, after I watched that, remember Alien versus Predator?
Mhm.
How that movie starts, the Predators are up in space and they shoot that beam down,
Yeah.
cut a perfect hole all the way to the bottom, and there's an ancient civilization under there. Like, those holes literally look like something cut. Like,
Yeah.
have you seen the pictures of them?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yep.
big holes in the ice out of nowhere that look like something just cut all
Perfect
the way
little-
down to the wherever it ends. Like,
Well, and what makes me wonder, I mean, we've mined every other part of the earth. Why in the hell wouldn't
Exactly.
they try to mine those mountains that are
And-
under there?
yeah.
Or, and I mean, maybe that's all it was. Maybe they tried to mine it at one point and they just
yeah, that
we
could
struck
be
out,
too.
lost a bunch
Yeah.
of money, and maybe we're just
Two,
conspiracy theorists going, it's got to be aliens. But
I don't know if it's
it could-
aliens
you know
or
what I
what.
mean?
You know, I almost think it's a
Well,
it might just be an ancient civilization that had the technology to live out that ice and figured out a way.
well, and that's like they said, 12,500 years ago, there was some sort of civilization that had some kind of technology that we can't have. I mean, like we couldn't move brick
Had
the way
to.
they do now.
No, couldn't even make them.
Yeah, we couldn't set up the pyramids still, it sounds like, to what, as far as my knowledge is.
Oh no, man!
But they did it then, and then we were wiped out
Yep.
by a comet or by something, you know, and
Yep.
some people survived. Some people, it makes you wonder, did some of those people survive at all and keep
Yeah.
their knowledge somewhere, or
I think they did.
be like, fuck this, we're going under the earth so this doesn't happen again, or...
Who's to say that aliens aren't us from a long time ago
Yeah.
that are so advanced, you know, that I don't know. I just think how many civilizations are on the ocean floor from when the sea levels rose, or however many. Jesus, there's a story in the Bible with dinosaurs in it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that, you know what's so crazy to me is that...
People live with dinosaurs in the Bible?
like how
Really?
smart, like whales and squid and things like that, how actually smart they are. Like, we can't communicate with them at all. So I mean, who's to say that?
All I know is that our government uses dolphins to find old
I've seen that.
minefields.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously animals are a little bit smarter than we
Yeah.
have been told and give credit for.
Yeah. They try to say that everything they do, they act on instinct and stuff, but you can
No.
see in their eyes that like there's something going on there.
There's
you know,
videos of I've seen a video of dolphins protecting a human from a shark.
Huh.
Like, why would they do that?
Yeah. There's exactly.
There's obviously some cognitive thought going on that they're like, oh, this dude's in trouble. You know, let's help him.
I wonder if there's someday that they'll be able to communicate with them,
Like in South Park.
through drugs or whatever it's going to take.
Dude,
Yeah.
have you seen that South Park episode?
No.
Living in the future, like the whole race is dolphins.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
They like got laser things on their eyes and like little Bluetooth talk
Yeah.
things. Yeah, when Cartman freezes himself because he doesn't want to wait for the new gaming system to come out.
No, I haven't
Butters
seen it.
forgets where he was and he wakes up like 5,000 years later or something.
That's funny. I'll have to watch
Like the
it.
dolphins are fighting the beavers or something. You know, that's Hollywood giving us a little sneak peek of what's coming.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing with the whole Hollywood thing and all of the shit that's coming up. I mean, how much do you believe with the pedophile stuff, and how much is true? How much is people just being crazy?
I don't know.
But holy shit, there's some stuff that links together that is pretty tough to deny. You know.
Yeah.
And man, it's fucking creepy.
Yeah, like you said, there's lots of things that you have a hard time arguing with to say it's not true. you
Yep.
know? But I don't know. There's so many things that I think is being kept from us.
Oh well, there's got to be, or else, like you said. I mean, what if the government come out tomorrow and said, "Yeah, aliens been communicating with us forever,
And
they're part
we
of our
have-
government,"
yeah,
and then you go, "Okay,
yeah.
well, did we get a vote for that? Did we
Yeah.
get a vote? Like, did part of their law just overrule our law? How'd that work? You know, type of, or who knows what?
Mhm. Well, dude, and then in that thing, like, some of them documents, there was pages and pages of ships, names of ships, the SSS, this, that.
Mm-hmm.
None of them are ships that are in our oceans. So was that another fleet of ships we had been planning on building that never came to fruition? Or,
No shit.
you know, the conspiracy theorists that I watched that on, they're convinced that those are ships up in space. We've got an entire space fleet up there. And we've been policing our own galaxy since this whole Majestic 12 thing was created. So we could, because we figured out we weren't the only ones out there.
I mean, if we could fly up there, you would think that for sure that they're gonna. I mean, seems like the biggest technology always comes out of war anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if they could fly up there, you're going to think that they're going to put some sort of battleship or satellite or something
yeah.
up there, whether we can make
yeah.
it that far up into space or not, you know.
Well, that's
but
another thing I've watched too. You know, apparently
say we can't make it out of our atmosphere type of thing, and you can
I
just
don't know.
orbit Earth. But
Well, that's like I watched a thing. Apparently, we built a bomber, a space bomber that we could get up into the orbit, and then once it was up there, it would just orbit.
just
But
float.
it was capable of dropping bombs back down into Earth, like with ridiculous accuracy if it needed to, or like another reason they put it up there was in case of nuclear war happened and we wanted to be real fuckers. Like
Yeah.
we could just spew radiation down into the freaking atmosphere if we wanted to, you know, like.
Makes you wonder, man. I'd love to. Part of me, like, I always sit around and think, I'm like, man, I wish I would have, like, went to the Air Force and tried to go, like, covert ops
Right?
type, like.
That'd be nuts. Imagine the shit you probably know.
Yeah, it'd be crazy to try and sleep at night, I guess, because some of the people that do come out, they're marked as crazy if they come out to say anything, you know. They're like, no, and then they try to erase their life. Well, if he was just crazy, why are they trying to erase his life?
Yeah. Or, like, you know, you can go on and find videos of, like, CIA agents, ex-CIA agents on their deathbeds, like, just
finally
doing
going,
a tell-all.
All right, now I'm gonna
yeah,
tell
like,
you.
oh, yeah, I've listened to one. This guy was talking about when they discovered King Tut's tomb.
Yeah.
Like, they were some of the first people, the CIA were some of the first people to go down in there, and he said they found, like, a pen that when you pushed it, it would cut through anything, and that's how we started our laser technology.
What the hell? Huh?
They found they didn't know what it was at the time, but it ended up being like a computer super chip. They didn't know what it was, and they were able to figure out something about it, and that's where all our computer technology and all that shit came from. Like,
they see, like, that stuff that they found in Baghdad, like, where they claim that they burned all these books of all these ancient like, why would they just burn it so that nobody sees what the hell is going on? Or would they just tell you they burned it and take that technology for themselves? Because, I mean, if there was that, especially like Tesla's books, all the shit that he'd written down, why the fuck would they just take it and rat hole it away or burn it, or if there was that much technology?
You
want to know? You want to hear something crazy? Donald Trump's uncle was the last guy to be in contact with Tesla's books before the government got them all, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That is.
Which crazy. I mean, there's a big fucking train of conspiracy that comes back behind all that, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a huge conspiracy as to why Tesla died, you know? Like,
well, he did get older, but he got crazy for sure. And then, I mean, like, MK Ultra was a real thing. They were trying to get mind control. And the Unabomber, who's from Montana or lived in Montana, came out of the MK Ultra program.
Yep.
Which is fucking Looney Tunes,
isn't
man.
It? I don't. Makes you sit here and think, like, do they know everything I've done? Or,
yeah.
You know, like, Jesus.
Good for them if they do, because I feel like I haven't done anything that special yet.
Well, I haven't accomplished anything amazing, but still, like, that whole MK Ultra thing's nuts.
It is, and what they were trying to get them to.
And I didn't even know what that was until Archer.
Oh, really?
I really got into that, and then I always kept, you know, how Archer's always saying that throughout the seasons, MK Ultra, or like when they landed that CIA base, and he's like, I also know because of MK Ultra that you did this and that with so and.
Well, like, I mean, then you hear about all these other planned false flags that they had before and certain things. So I mean, it really makes you wonder: are some of these things false flags? Are they, like, I mean, when they're getting us to argue and start race wars and everything else, is that all just happenstance, or is it something that they're going? And the fact that it spikes in an election year, everybody's like, "Oh, that's bullshit." Well, it spiked last election year too.
Did.
So
yeah,
what are the odds? You know,
I
like I said, you gotta walk so lightly on it.
It's neither here nor there, I guess. I don't want to say anything. You know, like,
I don't either. I mean, I want equal rights for everybody, type of thing myself.
I do too, and I've never been to a
people.
place. You know, I've never been to a place where I could hands-on see the way certain people are treated in certain parts of the world. But, like,
living up here, we're pretty sheltered from seeing that.
But so you know what I am getting sick of is these professional athletes coming on there who make more money than I ever will in 1 year, saying how they're oppressed and didn't have the same opportunity, let's say me or you did, to go do it. That's bullshit.
You do now. I mean, they might not have then, I guess, but they do now.
Obviously, at some point, you know, I'm not taking anything away from any of them athletes or anyone that has been successful. I mean, I believe they've worked for it and whatever, but they obviously had the same opportunity.
They had an opportunity to make it.
To do something.
I've heard that argument, too, of where, like, well, that was the only thing they could get out of there with. Well, I mean, you also see musicians make it out, or the best comedians or the best talk show hosts and make it out one way or another. But I mean, I do believe that if you try hard enough, we get the right opportunity. But then again, I also do see the argument of, like, say, if I'm a kid growing up and my dad and my uncle and my everybody's a drug addict or drug dealer and everything, you don't really necessarily have a role model to look up to. So that's where you...
No.
But I mean, then... Yeah,
at the same time, this is America, dude.
How much of that is
You can go out and make.
Should be given to you and not given to you
You
type
know?
of thing. It's tough, man.
Well, I mean, how many?
I hate to even hardly talk on the subject because like
know.
I said, we do live up here in the
Such
middle of
a
nowhere,
touchy
so
thing, but
so our opinion's going to be swayed a
Right.
different direction. But,
right.
but it's, oh man,
I don't know. I guess just like you just said, being where I'm from, it just all seems over the top.
Especially living in small town America, it's not like we worry about drive-bys and shit here either.
Right.
So who knows? I mean, I guess if there were drive-bys in my neighborhood every night, I'd probably be sitting there with a gun. But
Well, yeah.
then again, I do own guns, but
Exactly. But let me tell you this: you can't honestly think that like there aren't communities in our country that are predominantly white that face the same problems. You know, that are just probably shitholes where they're all dealing drugs
so maybe
or doing
that's-
drugs. You know, but we don't hear about that. You know,
maybe that's part of the white privilege. Then, if that's, I mean,
I-
but there are.
I guess
There's definitely
could be. I don't know.
definitely little meth villages here and there that you see.
Oh,
Not here and there, but
absolutely.
everywhere. Fuck, we see them in our own damn town
All
type
over
of thing,
the
you know.
fucking
But
place.
really makes you wonder of, and how, fuck, man. The crazy thing to me is like, we're in a presidential election a presidential election year. When have we ever made it this far into the presidential election year and we didn't know about the other guy running against him as vice president yet?
Right.
Who they want to run with him?
Mm-hmm.
That freaks me the fuck out.
Yeah.
I mean, I get COVID and all this,
Yeah.
but like, is he gonna come out of the fucking somewhere and say, "All right, Oprah's my running mate," or like,
Right. I know it's funny, like you say, like it's just crazy, like everything that's going on. A few weeks ago, Lily came up and was just kind of asking me about COVID, you know, and just curious about what's going on. And I was like, "You're pretty lucky, you know that you're alive right now in a pretty change. Like shit's gonna change in our country, and
Yeah.
you're like I was being a smart ass, of course, but I was like,
yeah, I mean, we're gonna,
you're pretty lucky to be around right now. Like this is insane."
yeah, 2020 was supposed to be fucking flying cars and let us know about the alien. Maybe that's all it is. Maybe all this is just a big ramp up to them letting us know about the aliens and being like, "Oh, ha ha."
Yeah,
That's
that's what I think. Like they've been doing it, you know,
Yeah,
for
we
however
gotta
many
let it
years
loose.
now,
All
you know.
right, Jetsons time. Here we
Right,
go. You got free
exactly.
energy, and here's
Yep.
all this, and
Actually, we've already built an entire.
We
we just need to go to this planet. It's all ready for everyone.
we just wanted to see if you guys would melt down yet or not.
Right? Yeah,
Like,
no
what
shit.
the fuck?
We were testing you, and you passed. Good job.
Oh man, it creeps me the fuck out. I didn't. Sad thing is, my brain is so tough to shut off at night. You know, like
Right.
if I come home from bartending or whatever it is, and I'll lay there and stupid me, I'll open my phone and find a fucking post on Instagram and start following, and it isn't like just because I follow all these people doesn't necessarily mean I believe what they got to say, but I like bending my mind, going down
Right.
that rabbit hole, just going really, or
yeah.
is it, you know, like.
I'm the same way.
And then you get down there a ways, and then suddenly you're like, holy shit, do I believe some of this?
Yeah. And every once in a while, you get down there, and you're like, "Oh my God, what have I done?"
Yeah, I know I'm being watched
Exactly, dude. Like 2 years ago, I thought for sure. I was like, "Damn it, I watched something I shouldn't have."
now. I know I'm a terrorist
This
now.
is bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm clearly marked as a terrorist. I don't...
Jeez, dude, that's like today with you saying how in Zortman, not a cloud in the sky. Well, I ran into you 5 minutes after that all happened today, and it's just been. It's not even that hot, really. Like I can't even say it's ridiculous.
What did you say something about before, and then it boom?
Yeah, I got out of the truck complaining about the heat, and I was like, "God, why you gotta make it so hot?" And before I even closed my mouth, it was like,
Yeah,
I
and
was
it
like,
drops 10 degrees.
yeah.
right
I
away.
look up in the sky, there's maybe one cloud. I was like, ugh,
It
well,
was
that's
weird.
freaking weird.
When
Okay.
that thunder hit, I was riding my electric skateboard.
Yeah.
I was downtown, and it was bright and sunny, just partly cloudy day, nice blue skies, and all of a sudden, kaboom! And I'm like, what the hell was that?
It's because I was cursing out God
Yeah,
across town.
well,
apparently, I mean, he got
at
mad
least
at me.
Thanks, buddy. You were
Yeah.
listening to know and cooled it off a
Yeah,
bit.
he did. Yeah, thank you. Wind started blowing.
Did you see there was a fire out in Landusky today?
No,
Yeah.
where?
Sounds like they're, according to one of my buddies, they were kind of mopping it up now, but close to the highway. I guess I'd seen some pictures, and it definitely looked like there was some pretty good flames going for a minute.
Good.
Good. Yeah.
Well, it's gonna push a few elk up to my honey hole if it's.
No, that's
if
why
close
it's
to the
good, I
highway.
suppose.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no fire is good unless it is good.
Unless it benefits me.
Right. Exactly.
With that, I'm gonna take a quick break. I gotta step out back and
Yep.
fill another little whiskey here. I got. I was telling Noah about this. I got for Father's Day this Basil Hayden's. It's a bourbon, but goddamn, it's good if you sit and sip on it. But if I sit and just sip on it, I'm gonna be hammered.
Yeah,
so.
he's trying to turn me into a man. I'm having a tough time here.
Yeah, can't turn him into a man to drink whiskey.
I might switch back to like
White Claw.
no, not that low.
I saw Noah this weekend after a gig. He went and played a gig at the brewery and come into the Mint after he was done. He was pretty schnockered by then.
God, see, and like I remember I woke up the next morning and my brother-in-law wanted to go golf and he didn't want to start till like 11, and I was feeling froggy, so I was like, "You little baby, let's go at 9."
You were still drunk.
Oh yeah, Kelsey woke me up and I was feeling great, and she's like, I've never seen you that drunk. I was like, I wasn't even that drunk, and then I didn't even make it through half the day before I had multiple people come up to me. They're like, "You had fun last night, didn't you?" I was like, apparently. Geez.
They packed your guitar into the Mint because you're like, all right, I'll play. And then they got it in, and pretty soon you're like, nah.
No, Travis was a good bartender. He sat there and served me water for about an hour. It was great.
They kept trying to buy you drinks, and I was like, hey, it's okay. I knew you wanted water, so.
Oh, geez, I started drinking that dark beer at about 2 that afternoon. Kelsey tried to tell me, she's like, you should only go when you need to play. And I was like, no, I got to go support the other people, and I had to play in between every other set. So, like, I sat there and drank beer for 6 hours before I was even done. Like, that last set came up, and I turned to that, I think his name was Smokey and the sound. He's really good, by the way.
That's
like, he
cool
was
name. I wish my name was Smokey.
Yeah, he was like a blues dude. He played the drums with his feet while he played harmonica.
Oh, yeah.
Then he had another guy doing leads. But I was like, hey, if you want to play, you go right ahead, because I shouldn't go back up there.
Huh.
It was a lot of
good,
fun.
huh? That beer will get you. In fact, tonight I just took my 2 growlers. I was going to go down and fill them up, but I realized it was trivia night, and there's like 72,000 people in there, so I was like,
Trivia is a big deal.
I'll go back and get them next time. But
I'm kind of a trivia shark.
Anyway, let's take a quick break and then
dominate.
Yeah, I should too, but Thursdays are a tough night sometimes for me to get down there. But all right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Oh, now we're back. Man, that was weird. This time it set us back about 5 seconds and then came back into it on me.
Yeah, I heard it beeping down, and then it.
See, what happens is you don't podcast only once a year.
Yep.
Fucking figure it out
We're
as
like
you go.
the nerd at sleepover. We fell asleep at 9.
Yep. So anyway, we were just talking about different places to live around, well, I mean, not even just around Montana, but anywhere in the United States. And the problem is, with living in Malta, you don't really get a good judge of where else is great, other than, like, Montana is fucking sweet.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. I love Montana.
Me too.
But, I mean, almost all my friends from anywhere else that I think, like, Southern California or places that I think would be cool are all like, fuck, that looks good up there.
Yeah.
But then again, I also think of, like, I know there's other cool spots, like in the middle of Wisconsin and, like, wherever,
I'm sure everywhere.
Tennessee or whatever's got
its
cool places.
gems,
But then you move there and then you're not local, and then that's a whole different feeling than
right.
knowing every back road and everything that
Mm-hmm.
is around. So it's kind of freaks me out.
It'd be a big step.
The biggest thing for me is if I didn't have, like, kids and a bunch, I mean, not just necessarily kids, but 3 to go and still in school, I wouldn't mind getting, like, a Sprinter van or a motorhome or something that I could travel for a while and then finally, like, go, okay, this is cool.
Yeah, this spot rocks.
This is nice. And who knows, might be in Mexico, might be in Buenos Aires, Argentina or something. Fuck, I don't know.
Might be in Compton. Who knows, dude?
Ecuador. I don't know. I've always said Ecuador looked cool to me too, but
yeah, I don't know.
I hope that someday in my life I get the chance to go explore pretty well.
Yeah, I just like shit. I bet when we started these podcasts, you could have asked me, and I would have told you, no, I do not want to live anywhere but Malta.
Yeah.
This is where I want to raise my kids. This is. But just in the past few years, like, I've found that place.
See,
like,
Libby.
I want to go live there. Or just somewhere over there, even if it was Troy.
Yeah,
I mean,
Troy's cool too.
That would be Malta all over again, just in the mountains. Tiny little town. I could send my kids down to the store.
I had a buddy from Troy, and he whined about it a lot. He was always like, it was cool, but goddamn, they're same lot of crazy hillbilly meth heads.
Oh yeah,
same. But I mean, where do you
much different from here?
Yeah, what else do you? any place that you move to a small town, you're gonna find problems like that.
Right.
And,
Well, that's just like Libby. Like,
mhm.
it's about the only thing, and I've only been there twice now for a week at a time.
Isn't Libby? Maybe I'm wrong, but is Libby a Superfund site? Like where there wasn't there like a mine or something there or is that? Am I thinking of a different town of where there was like crazy amounts of asbestos there that like that's why everything's so cheap?
Oh,
that-
right close to that.
I know
I
because
think
I remember.
so, yeah.
I did. Man, I was.
Yeah,
working,
because they're
it was something I did for like the chamber or something that we did like a benefit of some sort for some reason for over there because it's like the cancer rates through the roof and then they were doing a documentary about it or something.
I think it's in like not Deer Lodge.
Something over there. I know there's one in Anaconda, but that isn't the one I'm thinking
Falls,
of.
Maybe? No. Gosh, what
It's
is
somewhere
the
over there.
town?
But anyway,
it's past Troy.
So anyway,
yeah.
they were doing like a documentary of like ever since this whole thing went, whatever it was that shut down,
Mm-hmm.
like here's all these cancer deaths and like it's like holy shit, you're living on a pretty much a nuclear waste site.
Right.
But
no. The guy over there that we stayed with was telling me that they're trying to get a cruise up there because they're going to start cleaning all the asbestos out of whatever.
yeah, and then
that
so
is.
then you're gonna be one of the guys that die.
Well, no,
like,
it's not in Libby.
but no, I know, but I mean like
Yeah.
the crew, how much do you risk your life to go do that?
Right. No shit.
You better be. I mean, how much pay is worth pay to?
Right. Asbestos. I mean, we could go to work and die when we're 70 from it.
Yeah,
I mean, life well lived, I guess.
you're right.
but-
I mean, it could be. Who knows? Or you could be one of those guys that just lives forever. Or you get those guys you breathe the dust and you get fucking cancer tomorrow too.
Yeah, and you're dead in a week.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's fucking weird,
I don't
man. I don't.
know. I just really like it over there.
Oh, I do. I
I mean,
like
it's
the
basically
mountains like
still
that.
on the fucking High Line.
Yeah.
I think it's 70 miles from Canada, except you're in the mountains and you can't look anywhere without being amazed by something.
I've thought North Idaho. There's some really cool spots over there too that I've
Oh man,
always liked.
if I moved to Libya, it'd be 60 miles from the Panhandle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right there. You drive 60 miles from Libya, you're in Sandpoint.
I'm gonna have to drive over
Idaho.
there and check it out now.
Sandpoint is amazing, dude. I think I read like it is one of the most expensive towns to live in, Sandpoint, Idaho. But
Yeah.
it is. The highway goes right through the middle of the lake. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
giant lake, and
Well, it's like Coeur d'Alene. It's
Yeah, it's
fucking
just
is beautiful.
beautiful.
Coeur d'Alene might be the most pretty place on the planet.
Coeur d'Alene is beautiful.
If I mean, like, I'm not even so. I mean, yeah, there's certain things like some places have warm beach and sunset.
Mhm.
Some places have mountains and that. And Coeur d'Alene almost feels like it's got it almost all.
Yeah, all of it.
To me, where if I was really, really rich, where I think would be cool would be like South Tahoe,
Yeah.
Lake Tahoe, where like you can get pretty much mountains, lake, ocean not far. Like
Rivers, streams.
you get skiing, you get surfing, you get everything all there. But you got to be stupidly rich to
Oh,
live
yeah.
there.
That's another thing about Libby.
Mhm.
Fucking local ski hills, 18 miles from there.
Cheap too, huh?
Cheap. It's kind of like it's not a big one. I mean,
Yeah.
Whitefish, big mountains,
Not far, yeah.
100 miles away, but the local place is 18 miles. And I hadn't been there, but I'd imagine it's a lot like the Bear Paws. Like
Yeah.
if you caught it on the right day, it'd probably be the best day of
Yeah.
boarding or skiing you ever had.
I'm gonna have to drive over there and check it out.
Well, if
We're
I
wanting
move
to-
there, you'll have to because we'll be getting calls, fucking all day long from the girls.
Yeah, no shit.
That's one of the biggest things that's
That's-
stopping me from moving.
Well, it's,
is
we were
Lily.
in Florida, and I asked Savannah. I was like, well, "What if we ever moved to Florida?" Something and like Braden's like, "I'd move tomorrow." He's all pumped
Yeah.
about it. And, I mean, this is as we're sitting on the beach with a big sunset, and it's as pretty as you could possibly
Yeah.
ask. Savannah goes, "Only if Lily moves."
Yeah, I know. She said the same thing.
Yep, only if Lily moves.
We were there that last day this year, and like me and Kelsey, for at least a half hour every night, would talk about like if we do this, how we were going to do it, what we would do, and I asked Lily same thing. If Savannah can come, I was
Coronavirus
like,
about fucking killed them. Like
yeah, geez,
having to split each other apart from
no
it.
shit.
While
That
we still
was
didn't know what was
terrible. You could just tell they were just unhappy. I mean, any kid would be unhappy being forced to stay inside away from, but those two were just.
And
like,
if I wasn't, I've said that before too. Like, I mean, my job with cell phone repair, I can take that business anywhere I want, which because everybody has a cell phone, I just got to build a network,
Mhm.
But graphic design, I can get. I mean, I got enough work on that I could work for 4 months before I'm
right?
out of work, And by then, it seems like every job I do, I find more. But I can do that anywhere I can get an internet connection, you know? So, I mean, I've told Carol before, Carol's never even made it to the western side of Montana. She's never even seen over there. Oh so, yeah, we got to take a trip soon. And, yeah, I'm like, you're going to fall in love, but
it's unbelievable.
Probably won't be able to drag her back. But she's a Florida girl through and through, so she loves the beach and the sand and the
just
fucking
drive her up in the
stupidly
mountains and show her one of them freaking crystal clear lakes, which do have fairly decent beach. It ain't the white powder sand like you find.
No, but you find
beautiful.
Like I said, in the middle of the summer, that beach in Coeur d'Alene's nice.
Yeah,
I mean it's still a beach. But it's just not. There is something to be said about the ocean. I do like it.
Oh yeah.
But someday I'd hope that because I have enough money to snowbird for a couple months and then be back.
Right.
Because to me, I wouldn't want it like right now when it's 115 in Florida, and I'm not so sure I'd want to be there right now. With this
humid.
For one, I'm so fucking white. I burn terribly bad. But
well, gee, I don't know if I could handle it. I mean, it was 97 today, and I was about ready to start crying.
Yeah, it's too hot for me like that. But Carol, she just sits outside. She's never had a sunburn in her life.
Must be nice.
Last week, I was as red as a fucking rock lobster.
Yeah, you were. Holy shit.
That sucked.
There was something to be said about that. That was impressive.
And I could feel that I was burning. But I thought I was in the water, and I could feel that I was burning, but I kept asking. I was like, hey, am I turning red? So normally I'll get a little pink first. She's like, no, nothing. Then I get in the car to drive home, and I'm like, or back to the campsite, and I'm like, I'm fucking stuck to the leather seat. This is bad.
Yeah.
I know it's bad. So it turned out terrible.
That was a good burn.
I peeled all this week terribly.
Yeah. You'll remember that one for a while.
I honestly haven't burnt like that for probably 10 years, I bet. Which is...
Oh, I haven't burned bad in the past couple of years.
I know better. And I didn't... I put sunscreen on. I just didn't get the middle of my back.
Right.
And I thought I'd be in the water deep enough. But then my youngest dog started learning how to swim. Rebel started learning how to swim. So I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm going to teach her to swim. And I'm out there just playing, and I
doesn't
could feel
take
the
long
burn.
either,
I could feel
man.
the burn. It was a hot day too. So,
well, geez, we were playing in that Fort Peck softball tournament 3 years ago now, and I was just running the cornhole boards, would not lose,
smoking it.
And after 4 or 5 games, I could start feeling the heat, and I was like, I better sunscreen up and ditching the shirt. I'm kicking ass.
Yep.
Turned to my mom, like, hey, you got any sunscreen? She throws me this bottle. I'm already 6-7 beers in, just start rubbing it all over, had someone do my back. Good to go. We didn't play till 6-7 that evening, and I am just burning up but cold. So I knew I was fucking burnt, and I was like, Mom, what kind of sunburn was sunscreen? She's like, that wasn't sunscreen oil, it was tanning lotion.
Enhancer.
And I was like, what the hell did you get? I thought you said you wanted to tan. I was like, I did, but I didn't want to burn my fucking skin off to do it. Jeez.
It sucks. There's nothing fun about a fucking bad sunburn.
Oh, no. I got a really bad one this spring on my feet. First day out, nice enough to go to the lake. I wore my Birkenstocks all day.
Burnt them.
Oh, dude. Sunscreened everything but my feet. Got home that night and was just like, oh, my God.
I look like I was wearing a fucking Batman cape or something. I got my shoulders, so they're all white.
Yeah.
Got my sides. Didn't get my middle of my back, so it looked like I got a cape on. Or as somebody posted on my Facebook, what kind of shawl were you wearing? Fuck you.
Goddamn, looked like you had a poncho on.
Yeah, a front shawl because I was covered. I don't was I wearing it wrong?
Right. Someone told me to wear it like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
It was terrible. I don't know. I just I know better. I'm so fucking white and ginger that I know I can feel the sun. As soon as it starts burning, I know. But that's why I thought Carol had my back. But she was all the way up on shorts, sun tanning.
Right.
I'm like, am I turning red? Nope, you're good.
You're good. She probably didn't even look at you through her glasses. She's just like, no, you're good. Leave me alone.
Just let me suntan. Yeah, no shit. I could have. Because it did. It feels like needles when it starts burning you, and you know that.
Yeah. I swear to God, the government or something, they turned the dial.
Turned her up.
Turned the dial up a few clicks on the sun in the past few years.
The government. Yeah. How about the flat earthers? Have you followed any went down.
I haven't dove too deep down it, but I've watched some stuff.
They don't. You really can't dive that deep down it now because everybody's kind of like banned or shadow banned everything that you could.
So maybe it is true.
I'm not a flat earther by any means, and I do still believe the Earth's round and all that. But the one thing they say is like the difference that the Earth is supposed to change per, like if you're looking across the ocean, you shouldn't be able to see a ship 6 miles out or something like that. It should be below, is what some people say. But then they're like, oh well, there it is. But like I said, I haven't went that far down with that. I just figured I'd ask.
Well, how far? I don't know. I mean, Jesus.
How far till you see this?
How far before it dips down? You know, like how much distance would you have to go
Fuck if
before
I
the
know.
Earth started to curve down? I don't know.
That's what they were. I think that's what they were trying to say. Is they claim that it's so X amount of so far, you know. But
so if the Earth was flat, then what the hell would that mean for everything anyone knows? Like, you know what I mean?
Blow it all up.
What
we
would
don't know
Earth
shit.
look like in space?
Here's the deal, though.
Flat,
just a flat round disc. You still see
flat,
the round disc.
just a disc.
No,
you know,
I don't know.
That's it.
Thing is, though, we all live, you know, like a lot of times like max 100 years. So what the fuck? What do you got to figure out in 100 years anyway?
Are we just a giant floating ship?
You're trying to figure out. I mean, for 100 years, you're trying to figure out. First, you're like, you know, you figure out your coordination and how to walk and how to get along with friends. And then pretty soon you're chasing girls for quite a few years.
I've never done that.
And then suddenly you got a family and you're chasing them and you're trying to figure out how to fucking get a job or build a job and make money and get good credit and buy a house. And like that's, you know, that's like your main focus is. But you don't. I don't know. It's crazy. It seems like there's not as many like philosophers in the world now as what we had at a different time. Or
well, that's because nowadays, if you don't have money, what can you do?
Yeah, you're fucked. You'd be living in Tent City.
I mean, even people who live on the streets have to scrounge up some money every day to do whatever it is they need to do to get through the day.
Somehow, or I mean, I guess you could go live out in the mountains and shoot things if you wanted, but
well, right.
That normally doesn't work out for any normal humans.
I mean, are you gonna start making gunpowder and fashioning your
bow
own
and arrows?
Yeah, I mean, jeez.
We'll go full
I guess. I mean, I don't know. Got to have money in today's day and age to do anything.
Yeah. So, like I said, you spend half your life almost working. You spend. I mean,
that's why we ain't got as many philosophers around.
I suppose. How did philosophers make money back in the day? Did
people fucking thought they were...
People just think, like, you're a genius, here's
you're
a
genius,
donation.
yeah, something.
Huh.
I mean, obviously they were important enough people to where we still hear about them today. If you were that important...
Or maybe they just had the good drugs and they were a fucking kook and everybody was like...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or maybe...
Or they were the only ones smart enough to try and write a book and that's what we read about and nobody knows what everybody else... Everybody else was like, fuck Johnny, this philosopher, but...
Yeah, Aristotle came out. He's like, people don't fucking believe anything I tell them. I'm going to write this book.
They're just...
I'm going to eat these mushrooms, and then I'm going to write a book.
Yeah.
It's going to blow people's minds like mine has been blown. I don't know. I don't know how all that shit works. It just makes my mind go...
Truly does. If there was one thing, you know, like, that you would like to know all of, I mean, like, it'd be great to know if you could find out that all these rich fucks and all the government was actually on your side. Like, you know, what if it all came out and was like, no, they actually really have been trying to work for the greater good, and they, I mean,
that'd be nice.
There's no conspiracy behind it. There's no... I'd almost be a little bit bummed out.
So would I, like, especially after the past few years of like building up all these things I hear. And
you guys know as much as they did.
Yeah, that would be disappointing.
No way.
To find that out and not be able to be like, I told you so, I knew it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would be kind of good for the greater good, but goddamn, it would suck to know that.
Yeah, but I would be disappointed.
Thing is that you're always going to get people that disagree. So like how that, the crazy thing to me is how we still have two-party politics. When there's a lot of different issues that people disagree on, like there's certain things that the left like that I'm like would be a decent idea, I would think, you know, for certain things.
Yeah.
But some shit's went so fucking crazy lately that you're like, how did, like, both sides think the other side's batshit crazy.
Right.
That's all there is to it now. And it's like, what do you do? Form two countries? But even then,
Who
then are
knows?
you gonna split that country halfway down and be like, okay, well, we believe in this and not that, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know. It's a pretty nutty thing. I've just pretty much quit watching the news because of that. Like, Jesus,
I won't
it's
watch real
ridiculous.
news.
It's just,
or well, if you call it real news, but I won't
it's
watch.
almost childish how they get on there and just take pot shots at one side or the other. It's like, oh my God, like,
When you got a little segment, you got like 45 seconds before the next commercial,
yeah,
and you got to hurry up and say your point. You don't
Mhm.
get like this a couple hours to sit and actually
yeah.
feel each other out, but you got to be all right. Well, he said this, and he blah blah blah, and little jab points, and then it's
Yeah, well, you know what's hilarious? Remember that movie, The Campaign?
yeah.
Just how funny it was at
Mhm.
how they ran their campaigns and the ridiculous commercial. Like, it's basically what
really
is
it.
going on and has been since that movie even came out.
Idiocracy is another show that came
Yeah.
out. I don't know if you ever seen that, but everybody's crazy.
So and so gave money to them and they do this. It's, well, I'm not voting for them.
Yeah.
Gee, it don't work like that.
No.
That's ridiculous. Whatever happened to wanting to be in the government and have a spot to do something good for it instead of personal gains and
Well, there's certain like I mean not really ran for government, but there's been things that I've kind of thought like, man, maybe I could run for something for even like a local office and do decent. But then the more it's almost like being a lawyer. The more that people shit on politics,
right.
the more you're like, fuck that.
Well, in
But-
today's day, getting into a political anything is just almost ludicrous.
and
Like,
then
geez.
again, you see the politicians that own fucking islands and shit, and you're
Right.
like, well, should we?
Yeah, but how did they get that island?
Yeah.
You know, like what are you gonna have to do to get that far if it were to come to that?
Here's one coming out this week that Joe Biden owns an island not far from Epstein Island. Both of them have submarine docks in them. Ghislaine Maxwell is a submarine pilot, certified submarine, whatever you call it, pilot, driver.
They just load
Who
them
would-
fuckers up with kids
And who knows, and
God,
traffic them over. But I mean, like,
Well, I mean,
what election have you ever been through where the fucking other guy running hasn't had to get up and give a dick all for speeches?
right?
He's letting literally letting Black Lives Matter and letting fucking coronavirus and everything else just be his campaign.
Right?
He hasn't had to get up and tell us what he's for or what he's done.
No, that's because right now the majority of the country doesn't. Their minds aren't broad enough to think about. All they want to know is what's going to fix this problem that's making my life hard right now, which
they
is
would have already been.
coronavirus.
They would have already been debating by now. They would have already been
Mm-hmm.
knowing who the vice president would be. Like, I mean, he could say my vice president's Adolf Hitler at the last day, and all of a sudden they get voted in. Like,
Right?
then Joe Biden's too fucking senile to make it.
Yep.
They cut him out, and Adolf's our fucking president.
Right.
Who knows?
I don't know what's
It-
going to happen, but it's
It freaks me out, and I'm not saying like one side or the other. Maybe he'll get a vice president like The Rock, and all of a sudden we'll be like, "Fuck yeah, that could be great."
that's
you know,
The Rock, dude. He's
and
awesome.
Joe Biden could
I
go
loved him in
senile, and we let
in
him.
the rundown. I love that guy.
But it freaks me the fuck out the way it is right now because the state of the United States is.
It's sad.
I mean, I can't bitch too much. I keep thinking this though. Like as sad as it is, I'm doing okay personally.
Well, that's like just back to what we were talking about. And what else I said? Don't fucking come here. But it's
Yeah.
really nice to be where we're at, you know? Like,
But wait till the winter. You're gonna hate it in the winter.
yeah, like,
There's a reason we call it Montarctica. Like fucking 45 below and
you know,
wind
and some winters are different. Sometimes,
everything freezes and-
Sometimes it'll be cold like that the whole time, or it'll be mild, and then all of a sudden it's 50 below for a month
Yeah.
fucking straight.
Or sometimes we just get wicked ice storms that
Or
like
that.
target Californians. No.
Oh, shit. They do say if like a certain number of out-of-staters are in the state, like winters will be real bad. So,
Yep.
like freeze like the day after tomorrow bad. You'll die as soon as you go outside.
It's crazy to think that. I mean, like, you know, as me, when I was on the chamber, you're always supporting local businesses and you want more for your local businesses and this and that. And well, obviously, if more people moved here, we'd have more of an economy.
Right.
But then again, how far do you want to take that before it changes your way of life and Walmart plants a fucking spot on Highway 2
Yep. Then you're fucked. Then every
And
business
you
you were
hate-
trying to help
and,
would
and you
be
hate
screwed.
every bit of that. Like, I mean,
I don't know.
don't get me wrong, a young family needing to shop, Walmart makes shit cheap. But I fucking despise the difference of it. But then again, I mean, who doesn't? If it weren't for Amazon, you might not have a job
I was
either.
just gonna say online
So,
shopping is
yeah.
almost the biggest killer of all of them.
I do enjoy. I mean, just like today when I was talking about buying that drum pedal, I could have got it on Amazon. I could have got it on eBay. I want to make sure that I went to his website,
right,
and bought it directly from him, whether he's rich or not. He's the fucker that created it. Why should I give the middleman the money?
Right.
You know, like that's where I do enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, with cheap stuff, man, I did find an American company, but I just bought fucking like $300 worth of new hats coming. That I got to print them all myself once I get here. But I got some cool ass hats coming.
Good, I need one.
Sounds like somebody's out back. Should we pause real quick and see
Yeah,
who the hell it is?
make
Probably my
sure.
brother. All right, we'll pause. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Anyway, we took a kind of a, I guess you'd call it a prolonged break. We went out the garage door, and then my brother showed up with his girlfriend and his buddies that live next door, and they came over for a couple seconds. One of them says he wants to get on the podcast, but first they had to cook burgers, they claim. But
yeah, that break.
That's what took us quite a while.
Could have been worse.
Yeah, it could have been worse. Anyway, Noah, before we jumped in, was talking about deja vu a little bit, and I honestly, as a kid, I used to get deja vu so bad. I would walk down the stairs, and I even knew what my dad was gonna say to me, so bad, and it would make me it literally make me nauseous to my stomach. And there was a couple days that I got so nauseous that I didn't go to school because of it. I thought I was gonna throw up.
Really?
Yeah.
It happened to me a lot too, but it never made me sick. I guess
hasn't happened to me for quite a while.
You know, I probably didn't think about it the way you were, though. You know,
anymore. I think that
I'd just be like, "Whoa, cool."
It's not like that. I haven't really got deja vu anymore, but there's, and maybe it is, but there's been things that have been said or something, and I think in my head I'm like, they're gonna say this or that's gonna happen, and you think it hard enough, and then suddenly, boom, and you're like.
That happens with all sorts of shit.
Yeah, it's different now to me than what deja vu was as a kid. Where as a kid it was just occurring so fast.
Right.
I didn't
I've got this one playlist on my phone that I pretty much listen to every day while I deliver, whether it's on earphones or just on my phone that I can hardly even hear it in that truck.
Yeah.
But I've got it memorized enough to know pretty much every song I have in there, and just little things like that, like you're just saying. I'll be listening to the song, not even really hearing it, because I'm thinking, God, it'd be sweet to hear this.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it'll come on out of 500 some songs I have in this thing, you know. But no, I had deja vu just this last weekend at the Buffalo.
Huh.
The most vivid deja vu I can remember. And the longest that I remembered. 2-3 minutes, I bet.
Of just
and I just sat there in the pool, watching it. Ivy's gonna jump in here, and then Lily's gonna come up and ask me to throw her, and they call it some weird word, and that was even in I even knew any other time I would have turned and been like, what the hell does that mean? But I was like, sure, and just tossed her. Yeah, and then Willow wanted to touch the cold pool. Several things I knew was gonna come and
I wonder what's going on when deja vu happens.
I don't know. That's what I mean. Was that my brain telling me that was gonna happen? Because I don't remember having that dream, you know.
No, yeah.
But as soon as it starts unraveling, you're like, "Oh shit, I've seen this."
Well, and normally dreams are weirder than just plain life. You get there'd be something you'd be swimming at the Buffalo, but it was in Billings, or something that's the way the dreams kind of work weird.
Or we were in Cancun, Mexico, at a Catholic church.
Yeah, at the Sleeping Buffalo though, but yeah, it is creepy. Like I said, I remember as a kid when it would happen, I literally would know exactly what my dad was going to say, and I would just like you, I'd sit and just wait for it to happen, and then it happened, and I'm like, oh God,
right?
What in the hell?
But is that like I was saying, is that our brain? Because I don't remember the dream.
Have you just been in that situation enough times before that it's close, or is it?
I don't know, dude. This one was spot on.
Yeah, that's the way mine was too. Exactly.
Are our brains powerful enough to did it make that play out,
or did it live in the future?
Was I in a different dimension at some time, and the exact thing happened in a different?
They say
I don't know,
the
man.
whole simulation theory is that
why would
there's
our
enough
brains
possibilities
do
that it could do everything.
Yeah.
Any different.
But why would our brains do that? What's the?
That's what I want to know. God damn it, government, tell us. Tell us why.
Let me know.
Tell us what it is, and if you don't know,
what chord on my guitar do I need to play to
Yeah, what's
open
the
up
next
the
one?
gateway
Yeah.
to the next level of my brain? Or what?
You ever see those on YouTube where
What
you're
was
like, you've been
Dimebag
jamming
on
in the,
to that they killed him for, that he was figuring it out?
and then all of a sudden, like, they're like, this is the one chord that opens up the rest of the song.
Yeah.
Then you pick it up and you're like, this guy's got his fingers all fucking. You're like, that's not the chord.
No, that's
Shut up,
not
guy.
The one. That is definitely not the
Yeah,
one.
it's all about
Dude,
feeling. Honestly, the best music you ever make is like, if we're jamming or if you're jamming with anybody, and then you just like, you hit the groove, and you don't know where it's coming from, but you're hitting a groove, and shit is right there.
It's just going.
And you know right the note to sing, you know the note to fucking jam, the word to say. That's where you
Right.
get the best music ever. And it's so tough to find the zone or the flow state or whatever they want to fucking call it. But when you find that, that is
Zen.
by far
Phil Jackson knew
the
it.
best music that you ever find. I mean,
Yep.
like, and it's an emotion sometimes that triggers it. Sometimes it's just you're having a good time. Sometimes it
Oh, yeah.
just depends. But it's really tough to trigger that from nowhere.
Right.
To just be sitting down jam. There's some nights I'm just sitting jamming, or even like I walk in the bedroom and like Carol's just talking to me, and I'll just grab my guitar that's in the bedroom and just fucking plunking around, you know. And all of a sudden I'm jamming something. I'm like, ooh,
Yeah, I like that
I'm
one.
fucking jamming,
that.
and like
Right.
pretty soon you're like, you're really ripping, and you don't even like, you don't know where it came from. You don't
And then
know like
you don't remember it
yeah, and then the
afterwards?
next day you're like, I know it was capoed in the fifth, and I was doing this, but
Right.
if I didn't record it, I don't have it.
Just got to start having
It's just
something
gone in the
recording all
ether,
the
you know.
time.
Yeah.
But then who wants to... But
And
if
then-
it happened, you'd know where to go look, I guess.
But then again, if you're recorded all the time, just like today when we started the podcast after the first time in 6 months, you feel the pressure.
Right.
You like, unless maybe if you were recorded all the time and you eventually get used to be recorded all the time. But man, I could be ripping on the guitar and then be like, all right, I'm going to record it.
And then screw it up.
Right. And I fuck it up. And then
Dude.
record it again.
I do that every time.
15 times before I finally get it as good as I was doing 2 seconds before I hit that fucking record button.
I know. We would do that in here all the time. We'd be jamming something and be like, all right, yeah. Record comes on.
Do that and I go
fucking do
plunk, plunk, plunk. I can't, no. Doesn't
I've
fucking
done
work.
that so many times where I've even like jammed something, just a juicy one,
Yeah.
and remembered it, and then go to record it and can't do it.
And then I
same
don't
way.
have the same timing almost. I don't like
Oh, dude.
just the
I,
funk to it, or like I don't even know what it is, but the
I've been trying to learn Revolution Is My Name by Pantera on
Yeah.
my Dean. And there was one night over there, like I was over there by myself, and then Jordan ended up coming home, and like I was just, it was so loud when he walked in. It was late. He was downtown with his buddies from work or something.
has he been jamming with you?
Yeah, dude, he's
shredding.
He's a bass playing fool.
Dude, he picked it up so fast.
I said that last
All right, I
winter.
want to play with him too, because
When-
I said that I told him that last
Yeah.
week, and I was like, dude, you're a freak.
When he never even told me he played bass.
No,
he
yeah,
came
he's been
back
telling
from-
me, he's been like sending me little snippets and being like, I started this.
Yep.
And I did that, and I'm like, dude, nobody picks it up that
He's a
fast.
weapon.
Nobody
Last
picks it up
fall,
that fast.
when he came back from fencing, I go over one night and I see it in his room. I'm like, you play bass? He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, dude. And Cliff Burton is his idol.
I know.
So all he's done is try to learn Burton's shit. And Burton's like, dude, he fingered chicks in '86 and they're still coming today. Like,
I
he's
know.
a weapon.
Dude.
And
It's the truth.
and dude, like there was a few nights where he'd be like spot on,
Yep.
and I'm just like, I'll pick up his bass and like
He sent me a couple Snapchats, and I was like,
pick.
yeah, I was like,
Dude.
dude, you
He
got
gets down.
talent.
I've
And
told
I
him
tell him that
that.
every time. Like even if he's at the bar drunk, I'm like, dude, keep it up.
at it.
You got fucking
He just
wicked
got
talent.
an acoustic one.
I know
now.
he sent me that too. Yeah.
So now he can sit
I wanna
on his
jam with him. We gotta
couch
bring him over and
dude,
fucking jam.
He's. I always tell him that. I'm like, dude.
I got like
He's always sending me snaps like trying to be a smart ass. Like maybe someday I'll be bass.
Dude,
player.
I got,
I'm
like-
like, you already fucking are.
yeah, he's
man.
better
Like,
than any that we've seen.
I can't
lately.
even play bass.
I've got like probably 10 to 15 riffs that I've been like. I mean, that are all, you know, your guitar playing evolves. Like your riff goes from this to this.
Yeah.
Still sounds like you, I guess, or whatever. But like I've got a bunch that I've been jamming on my electric. That, in fact, that's almost all I play anymore is my electric.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, something fell over here.
It's a drumstick.
Just out of nowhere. We need
We're
a drummer.
speaking of
huh?
music, and all of a
Like,
sudden the drumstick's
out of
talking to
nowhere,
us.
there's gonna
See?
be a drummer.
That's what's going on. Our brains are like making shit happen.
Yep.
We don't even realize it.
That's because I just ordered that Beat Buddy.
Yeah.
That'll help us.
Now it's jealous.
Yep.
You're
It's
getting
like,
a beat, buddy? I'm
I got-
over here.
I got a drum set right
Yeah.
behind me, and I just ordered a Beat Buddy. Well, I can't play the fucking drums and the guitar at the same
Pretty
time.
soon the cymbals are gonna start just like.
And I've tried to like put a guitar lick down on my computer here, and then like come in and, or vice versa. Because to me, I feel like I play better guitar if I have a drum beat first.
Yeah.
If I can just like get in time,
yeah, dude.
and then you rip. Especially like if you get a good drummer, man, it's easy to rip, but it's hard for me to play a guitar lick and then come in and then put a drum to it.
Me too. Well, it's because
I'd rather have a drum to it. Yeah, I'd rather have a drum to it and then play guitar.
Well, that's how I feel. Like with
I'm not a good enough drummer.
Me either.
To I mean, like I can keep a hell of a beat and do the few fills that I can do, but it's not what it's not what's cool to.
I can keep a decent beat and the snare and hi hat going. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm not a drummer.
Me either.
I have
but
drums.
I'm the same way. Like
I have drums just because I love music. I'm like, if I get a cheap musical, if somebody wants to sell me their musical instrument cheap,
right?
I'm gonna take them all and I'm gonna dabble enough that I can. If somebody goes, "Can you play the drums?" I can go, "Fuck yeah, I can play the drums."
I can do
this.
I like the Teen Spirit one. I can do about that. That's about it.
Or even like, just like the bass. I mean, I started playing a little bit when we were in here, but I can't play the bass.
Well, no, like
I don't.
That's what I was gonna get to. Like all the songs, like I play my own riffs and shit, you know. But I learned pretty much all of that Alien Weaponry album. Just because I love that,
nice.
Just
That's
heavy chugging.
So good.
It's like simple to play, but when you're playing it and it's loud, you're like, "Fuck, I'm a badass."
Yeah,
you know, like
once you realize that you open it up, it really is pretty simple. But it like gives you a lot of like right hand stutter steps that you didn't.
Oh yeah, no,
like
I've got that's one thing I'm getting really good at is like being able to palm mute shit and make it sound, you know. But like I was getting with my own riffs, like if I had a drum behind that.
That's what that.
I would be able to come up with some cooler shit. And with Jordan, like we've learned
anytime
like
you jam
5
with
songs now, though, dude, that we can play together. If we got the drum going on like YouTube or something, we can play 2 Weaponry ones, Wood by Alice in Chains, Giving.
Where are you jamming? You still got that shop? Or you
Giving
going to
In by Linkin Park and another just over at Jordan's. He's got that spare bedroom, and honestly, like. Fuck, we haven't even jammed that much lately, but most times either he's jamming by himself or he's not there and I'm over there doing it.
I play by myself. Like I told you earlier today,
But when we learned them few, dude, it was fucking sweet.
I did, like, while school was in and stuff, but I'd get the house to myself quite often, so I'd play a bit then, you know, like when I could, but now I force everybody to hear it. But then again, when everybody's hearing it, you're not experimenting near as much as like, I mean, I'm noodling around fucking off quite a bit.
Yeah.
But if you know somebody's listening, it feels like you play differently, especially if like it's your family that doesn't play music or something, you know, like, yeah, I feel like I play way differently than what I do if I'm just solo getting into it and
absolutely
feeling yourself, you know, but
dude, I feel stupid because I know he doesn't care. But if Jordan's there, I'll ask him. I'll be like, dude, do you care if I plug in for a minute? Because, I mean, shit, it's not.
But I do have quite a few cool riffs that I want to add. Like, dude, that's the reason I bought that Beat Buddy thing, because I want to add so much to it.
I've got 2 that I know would be solid if I could get something going behind it. Just heavier kind of thing. But I'm getting pretty goddamn good at them pinch harmonics right now, too.
Nice.
Trying to learn Dimebag. He's got those all over in the place. But
I do them accidentally all the time.
You know how we were talking about the music?
I'd love to get it, like, consistently.
Yeah.
I'll try it and fuck it all up, but then, like, when I'm really playing, like,
that's how I am right now. And I'll get it, and I'll just keep that flow going. And because that Revolution is my name, like, on that one part.
I'm no Zach Cummings, that's for sure. That fucker could pinch every note if he wanted.
He's a fucking ripper.
He is.
I've been sending him a bunch of videos of me, and he snapped me back.
Videos too,
he snapped me back one day. Well, they were usually just my stories or something. I shouldn't say a bunch, but because I don't really play it that much.
Hey, taste this like this. I didn't mean to pour Red Bull in it, but it's pretty good.
He's like, snapped me one day. He's like, I'm getting a new thing for this so I can play mine again. I was like, fuck.
He's like full mustache country.
He was
right
like
now, right?
fucking getting deep into that country. Like, he'd come down every time I'd see him. He'd even be singing with a southern twang. I'd be
is
like,
that my phone?
No, that was me.
You know what? Listen to that White House Road by Tyler Childress. It's an older song, but god damn. The second that I heard it, I was like, that's a hit.
Have you heard of Zach Bryan yet?
Yeah.
Oh my god. That guy is a gift from above.
Mm-hmm.
When
Some
God made him, he left him off his hand, you know? He's like, write songs.
I keep thinking, and like, maybe
Sing.
this may be, and you probably have it in yourself too, but in my cocky self, that I've always been able to have like a way with words and everything else too. So I think someday this songwriting is just finally going to come along to where I go like, oh, it's not.
Me
oh.
too, dude.
I'm like, eventually, like, I know I could write a song better than that douchebag just did, but for some reason I just haven't yet. I want to say haven't yet because I feel like someday I'm gonna. Like, there's sometimes I make a beat on here and I'm like,
yeah. It's in us.
Eat a dick, world class beat maker guy.
It's in us. Like,
I feel like I should jump on there and be like, another one. Because I'm fucking so good at making beats.
And another one. Don't give up.
I know.
No, dude, like, I wrote a story once. Like, I could write, so I know I can write music.
Yep.
I wrote a story once my junior year, and I wrote a love story because I was madly in love.
Of course you did.
I was madly in love with Kelsey. And it was,
It's guys like you that make me look really bad.
I never used our names, but like, dude, it was a great, it was called Devil's Island, stupid. But anyway.
Great name.
Anyway.
Damn, welcome to Epstein Island.
After the day I wrote it, I'm walking into class, and Miss Carrie, I loved her. Like, she was an English teacher for like 3 years, and she's gone now. Sweet little old lady, loved her to death. She taught in like Broadus or something before she came here.
Huh. I had Miss Hanson.
She's like, Noah, do you care if I read your story today to start class? And I was like, no, absolutely not. She's like, I won't say who wrote it.
Oh, it
even
was Kelsey
if they
in your
ask.
class?
Yeah.
No wonder why you sealed the deal this long.
And all of my buddies, though. Like, all of my best friends somehow. We all ended up in the same class. And she's like, I swear I won't do it or whatever. And I'm like, okay,
That's
fine.
awesome.
So we're sitting in class. She reads out the first line, and it was a killer, dude. It had something to do with the waves rolling in off the ocean, some bullshit.
It's like shimmied her pants off.
Right. And she reads it and looks up straight at me from the paper and smiles. You know, I was like mid-class, so she could have been looking at anyone, but I knew, and I was like, fuck. Like, first paragraph in, Jared Williamson's like looking around.
And as a high school kid, you're so fucking nervous anyway.
Jared Williamson's like looking around like, who the wrote this goddamn story? Pretty soon everyone's like looking around, and like every couple lines that were real good ones, she'd like look up and smile, you know?
How old was Miss Carrie?
Oh, she had to have been in her 60s at that point. Maybe, I'm guessing 60s.
An old high school athlete strapping Noah?
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to talk about things that might be happening, but Miss Carrie might have been going home and...
Oh, dude, it wasn't even halfway through the story before Jared looks at me. He's like, you wrote this, didn't you? It's like, yeah, I did.
That was me. Oh, it's that good, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
That was me. Would you guys like me to get up and actually narrate it? Because
No, dude, but... So, oops.
Oh!
Jeez.
That's another one.
So I know I can write shit.
Speaking of... this isn't on the topic of writing shit, but on the musical journey, I just got a fucking... It isn't here yet, but hopefully you'll be delivering it soon or wherever they take it.
I'll deliver it.
I got a new JBL 10, one of these, like a powered speaker. It's just a single JBL 10, the Eon.
Yeah.
Dude, I got it on Macari for $120.
No.
Yeah, $400
so
speaker.
Like powers itself. It's got Phantom,
Bluetooth,
everything in it, Bluetooth.
all of it.
Dang,
It's a single speaker. But the reason I got it is because when I do weddings, there's a lot of times I got to be set up. Like I got to be set up at the city hall to DJ the reception, but they want to get married at the park, and I got to have sound at the park. So rather than take all the speakers and fucking have them all set up and go, well, I bought this other one that like at least I could.
My dad's
I might even be able to just
like
Bluetooth. My dad does too. That's what made me want to get one.
Sam's Club. Like that's the
my dad does too. Yeah,
used.
my dad has the lights in it.
Bluetooth, and his doesn't have lights, but it's got Bluetooth, Phantom power.
My dad too.
It's got a little soundboard in the back. Like,
that's what this one but this is an actual.
Those are sweet.
This one's actually a JBL. That's a fucking stud speaker one anyway too. So, but it's just a 10-inch, so it'll be perfect for that though. Or like for filling this room. Or even like if you were to come play the Mint, like to actually need a PA,
that would be perfect.
It's great. Like these speakers here, these speakers here are almost too much. These speakers are almost too much to blow out the Mint. Like if you want to crank them up, where I do lack in these ones that I need to get a couple more is on
15s, right?
Yeah, on a big outdoor party.
Yeah,
I feel like I lack just a little bit sometimes, but I think when I add the other two subs to it, then I'll be fine. But no, I was pumped on this one. This This guy had it on Macari forever, and I'd been watching other just, you know, the little, like, I wanted one of the 10-inch anyway, and I'd been watching this one, and he dropped it like 20%, and on Macari, it's like eBay, only you don't bid, you can just make an offer. Like, it's just like everything's like buy it now, but make an offer.
Right.
So it'll say like you can go 20% below it, or you can say make your own offer, and sometimes they'll say you're too low. Well, this one I was like, fuck it, $120. And it didn't kick back at me saying it's too low. Like an hour later, it's like, he's accepted your offer. And I'm like, fuck yeah.
Nice, dude.
Like, but I told Carol, I was like, God, I kind of had buyer's remorse. I didn't plan on spending $120 today, but
That's
for
a
that,
score,
how do you
man.
not? Like, dude,
That'll
that's
make you $120.
the first day.
Right.
The very first day I use it, it'll pay
Right.
itself off.
Oh,
But
yeah, dude. Yeah, those are nice. Like, I've got two 15, God, what are they? PVs?
yep.
And
Yeah, they sound good.
They're kind of older. Yeah, you've heard them. They're kind of older, but shit, they were hardly used,
Sound
so
great.
they're pretty nice. But
If speakers are taken care of, they
them
play
fucking Bluetooth ones, like, it's nice when you can just plug into it and boom, you got your sound. Unless you really got to get technical, I guess. But you got your little soundboard. You can
That's
adjust
what
to
these are
certain
both
things,
powered
but
too. That's
yeah.
what's nice about them.
Right.
And the nice thing about powered speakers is that the amp that they put in them is rated for that speaker. So you don't like just go grab a pair of like big JBL cab speakers and then plug them into your amp that has too much juice, and you get drunk and like, I need more sound.
Right.
And you crank them up and then you fry them both, you know. Instead, these ones are
Okay, see,
except
like,
for what they have.
I've only had to play maybe twice where I really even needed that.
Yeah.
And once was this last summer when I went down to Billings and played for the cross country motocross dude club that
Trevor
runs. And I brought both the 15s and my Acoustasonic, just my 20 amp.
Yep.
And it was like I had my phone up in the very top where the keg was, recording it for like the first 10 minutes. And when I listened to it, I had it pretty loud, like loud enough to where I was playing. Like people, you know how shit like that goes.
Yeah.
Like I was really just there for background music. So I
Yeah.
didn't want it to be ridiculous, but I could have got louder, but I thought they just wasn't quite enough for that. But
Well, until
like,
now,
see, I got a big, like I want to say it would be like the head, like the amp of it.
Mhm.
And it's got maybe like 4 dials. And then I've got another smaller soundboard like that. Would I need both of them to run that? Because I just ran it off my one soundboard. I plugged them both in, and
yeah, as long as
that's what I thought. All I needed was power. Because
Unless I mean, like this is for getting technical on your microphone. You know, like going up or going like
right, yeah,
mostly like when I'm doing a wedding, this sits next to me. So like if I hand you the mic and you're the groom and you're talking, I can turn it up as you go, like as you're holding it further away, type of thing.
right,
Or like this is also for my music. Sometimes you'll get songs that are cued differently, or they'll be like cut the sound, and you know, at least then you got it right next to you. But if you have the other one, then no, I
Right.
mean same thing as long as it's got access. But so what you always need, I mean, you need speakers that make the noise. You need a power amp, which these speakers have the power amps in them. Some speakers just have the speaker, which would be a passive speaker, not an active speaker.
Well, see, the plugins for them, all they take is the 1/4 inch.
And that's it, huh? Well, some of them do, I guess.
But they got to be the ones with like the black band that supply power to it.
Oh, you don't even have a...
That's what I'm wondering. Do I need that amp for those then
Yes.
to make them sound really?
Yep.
Well, fuck, I've never even plugged
Because
those in.
if all you have is just like if they don't have a plug-in coming from the speaker.
No,
If you don't plug your speaker into the wall, then it does need a power amp. So then
Well, see, I'm able to plug my little sound.
maybe
box,
your little soundboard does have a power to it.
Yeah, it's just a small one. It's the same brand as this. I've noticed, Behringer or whatever, but it's smaller. But I'm able to get sound out of them just by plugging in the 1/4 inch. I got big from Kirkwood. I forgot. I got 2 small 12 inch
Really?
PVs too that are the same way. Or no, they're not. Like
Well,
I found out I couldn't get power out of those unless I used, and he gave me an
You need
old
the amp. Yeah, you
Like,
gotta
it
have
was
an amp.
old.
If the only thing the speaker has is a speaker plug-in, then they need the amp. If they
But-
plug into the wall and have power, then
these ones I got an amp from the guy and the 2 speakers, a sound box, and a loop pedal.
No, nice.
Killer deal. And that Fender guitar.
Yeah.
And,
I'm about to pee my pants. Let's finish this conversation in a second.
all right.
I'm trying my best, but I really got to pee so bad.
Do it.
Out back to check out if my brother and them were actually going to show up for this podcast like they talked, or if they were going to cook burgers. And I don't see anybody out there.
No, I haven't heard anything either.
But anyway, before that,
Strange.
we were actually talking about speakers and shit. And like I told you in the break, it's crazy. And I used to always think, like, sometimes you'll get a bargain on a speaker. I mean, yeah, the biggest thing to me, I've always bought, and this might sound cheap or fucking stupid, but I have always bought used shit.
Mm-hmm.
No, like, a lot of times you can find somebody that had something, used it once, and that's all they needed it for, or, you know, but you got to find the right used shit. You don't want to find something that's hailed out. But speakers and seems like any kind of electronic equipment, you get what you pay for.
Oh, yeah.
Period. Unless you get like a smoking inside good guy deals type of thing,
man.
which
It's
I
almost
get
like
a lot
that
of
with
those
anything,
too. But
really, yeah,
it is, yeah. But especially audio equipment. If you want to buy a cheap speaker, it's gonna sound cheap.
Right. Or it'll work once and then something's wrong with it. But like I was saying with mine, like, that little soundboard must power them, because I've got sound to come through them just by plugging in those 1/4-inch plugins.
Yeah.
And shit, I've got sound to come out of them. So that thing must have enough, and it's not that big, which surprises me, but it must have enough juice to power them.
I got an amp in there that's a 1,000-watt amp. That's probably this big.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that'll power the.
But I mean,
it
looks just like this, only small. Like basically just that.
Yeah.
But everything bunched into like this here. Yeah. You know.
Huh. I'd have to look at it to see what it was, but they gotta have power somehow to be able to make noise.
Well, it's gotta, I guess, because it's got a button on it to push phantom power to your mic or whatever you need.
Yeah, so that's like 48 volts at least.
So
I should get that, but
I wonder if I would use the amp, what I could get them to fucking sound like. Jesus, because I've got them to sound decent. But
for what you do, though, like a lot of the,
I hardly even need it
until you bring on like a bass player and a drummer and everything else. Like that 10-inch that I was just talking about that I got would play every fucking venue that you play. I mean
easy
at the brewery, we could, like, if we plugged in, which this and those two powered speakers sitting behind you, the 15s.
Yeah.
We wouldn't even be touching the volume on them to get good sound out of them.
That show we just played,
front,
that guy had like 2 12-inches, I think.
But you never turn those up there. I mean, outdoors definitely it opens up the sound a whole bunch.
Right.
But in a small place like that, it isn't gonna. I mean,
especially with a giant brick wall on one side of it and a fence on either side. And
I can get these too loud at the city hall.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a fairly good sized venue. It echoes a lot in there, so that adds to it. But I've had bigger venues that I've played those in. There's been a couple of outdoor things that were like street outdoor. All I had was my speakers, and there's nothing to reflect the sound off of it all.
Right.
That you're heading straight back with. That ends up being a big open party. That there, a couple times I'm like, man, and they still sounded good. I pushed them to where they were starting to redline, you know.
Right.
But
just need a little more oomph.
Just more money. Anything takes more money. You can get it.
A little more pickle. You'd have had her whipped.
Someday I'll keep buying shit and keep buying. Fucking Jory Shipman, he run his DJ business. He's got a pile of really good equipment.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah, he's good.
He is good. And so is Chris. Chris Pippin's got a pile of good stuff too. I mean, anybody that you're going to hire for a DJ usually has good equipment. Where I've spent more money than
Chris, he's a good guy.
Others, like, I have more into my turntables and the sound and that actually puts the party through the speakers than just the speakers type of, but Jory's got a fuck ton of more money than almost any of the DJs around in his stuff.
Really?
Which is, I mean,
hey man.
Yeah, I can't.
Like we were
I can't
saying,
say no.
sound,
I've seen his stuff. He surely does.
It's all about sound. Got to sound good.
But for the size of venue you play,
that's
sometimes
true.
You don't need.
I mean, fuck. I would go play in the Mint and use nothing but my Acoustasonic, and it was enough.
That was so. That's what I was going to talk to before, or say before we cut out. This 10-inch that I bought.
Yeah.
Is what I'm going to I've been using my Acoustasonic.
All that one is
well, no, for when I've had to set up at a different venue.
Yeah.
The last 2 weddings I've done, I've brought my Acoustasonic to power the actual ceremony,
No shit.
and it was good enough.
It sounded good.
I plugged
Hell
in,
yeah, dude.
I plugged in my phone or my computer into the one side
Those
to
things
where
are
the
badass.
mic goes in, which mine's 100 watt, so it's good.
Yeah.
But I plugged it in on one side and let that play, and then I've ran the wireless mic through the other side, and it sounded
Dude.
every bit as good that you need for a 30-minute ceremony or whatever.
I
they
don't
end up
think
being, you know.
I've ever
But
turned,
now I actually have another really
Yeah.
good.
I've never turned my Acoustasonic up over halfway.
I think mine's blown right now.
Like, oh, that sucks.
Not just the speaker. The speaker's $50.
Right.
I think I blew it trying to like play some Alien with. Right?
Oh,
Crank it
yeah,
up.
man. You
But
gotta
like
get loud.
mine growls. Like, so if I turn that up on, you know, to the where it says electric and you turn it to where it's got some crazy distortion.
Right.
I've cranked it up, and then one day I can't remember what happened, but something hit, and it. I don't remember if either cord come out or something. It gave it a wah, you know, like something that wasn't supposed to happen.
Right.
And it still sounds good, but to me, that's been listening to it forever, it doesn't sound the same. Like, I know there's something's a little different.
Hell yeah, dude. That little Orange Crush 20 amp I got. I've got it to where even Jordan's been like, dude, you gotta.
I could never let mine. Yeah, mine was too loud for what I wanted, honestly.
Mine, but I
That's
mean,
why I
just
gave up on it.
I just pushed it to see how loud I could get it and still make it sound fucking good. And dude, I swear to God, the louder I got it, it was just sounding.
Yeah, they do.
even
Well, you
better.
bought the 20. You bought the 20 watt, the actual fully enclosed speaker, right? Or the
Yeah.
the one I bought that little micro terror.
Yeah, no, but that thing's
amp.
meant to like power something
So
fucking
big.
Yeah,
So like it was
those
even
things
in
are
here.
badass.
It was good, but to plug it in here, to get it to what I wanted it to be, I was gonna have to turn it way too loud than what I wanted it for a home practice
Right,
amp.
I guess.
I didn't have. I mean, I don't have a. I can't just rattle the fucking pictures off the wall in my house
Right.
and let. Like right now, I got a Black Star 20. I think it's 20 watt. I got a
Yeah.
Black Star that.
Dude, that's about perfect.
This
for
one sounds good.
inside, like you know.
I got a Black Star 20 watt, and then my Acoustasonic that I used for the other one. But those are my 2 home amps.
Yeah,
But if I was going to get much louder, I'm going to go through the PA type, you know.
yeah.
But I would love to have
I
something
was
crazy.
just that little Crush, dude. Like
They sound so good.
you can just be turned down too. Like you know, like a 20 amp Marshall. Like if it's not loud, you can't get it to.
See, that's the way that
But that
little 1 amp
Crush-
was. I couldn't get it to sound
Dude,
good.
that Crush, you can have it like quarter of the way up and adjust it and still get a mean chug sound out.
yeah.
I mean, not.
But
what it
yours,
would
yeah,
be,
yours
but,
is
you
meant
know-
to do that. Yours is meant to be like
Yeah, you can get it to sound good, like loud or.
mine.
turned
That
down,
that
you
little
know?
tube amp that I had of the,
Yeah,
it was too much. It just,
yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be too much if I was playing stage all the time, or if I was playing like, I don't know, even just a bigger venue where we could rock the, or like, even if all my practice was out here, you know, you could crank it up and get loud. But the neighbors are definitely going to hear that thing if you turn it up to where it needs to sound good.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah.
That's where. But then
Who
again,
cares?
how much
God.
fucking fun is it to play when you can get something that, you know, half the blocks here?
Oh,
like
dude, when
that's,
Zach lived here, I did it one time when he lived over
On
by
Stack.
Millionaire Avenue in those apartments. He was the only one in there at the time. And like I picked it up and started playing, and he just kept going louder. And I like turned around and looked. He's like, "Keep fucking playing!" and like, and he got it. I remember I could like feel it on my back. I was like, "Oh my god, we're doing it!"
I always dreamt like jump on the stage of a place like Rockin' the Rivers and just let me play a couple riffs and feel that whole fucking pile of speakers. I felt it. I felt my vocals on it. I've been on stage like that a few times and jumped up and be like, "Ha," you know, like I've hosted a couple different things. And when you jump on and like you got the mic and you yell at everybody and everybody's fucking
Right.
That feels
That's
pretty cool.
badass, dude.
But I really would love to grab my guitar and hear that through that same.
Oh,
It is fun to jump on stage and like do that, to be able to even just to host something or bring somebody on
Oh,
stage
yeah.
and yell and hype it up. Like, I think that'd be incredible to fucking play your guitar through it though.
Mm-hmm.
And I've grown up around it. I've been like, even sound checks, you know, like you sit around there, all the little, like the bands will do their sound check. As soon as they fire up those fucking ginormous speakers and start doing their sound checks, you're like, that's got to be so much fucking fun.
Oh, dude.
I bet the jam is so much better. Like, if that's where you practice,
It'd be tits.
that's fun.
Be so badass, man. God. Just to feel it.
Well, you know you're getting loud. And this, I mean, this is going to sound stupid to real musicians, but you know you're getting loud when you got to mic your drummer.
Yeah, no
Like
shit.
anything that we do in here, the drummer's too loud.
way too loud. Yeah.
So like, if you got to mic your drummer, you know you're jamming.
Right. Yeah. No shit. It's nicely put.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you're booked for anytime soon, or anything?
No, not really. I talked with Brian, and he just wants to like do some open mic night shit, and I'd love to do that. Yeah,
our own gig, like we'll make a show of it, and if you guys run out of sound, then we could DJ something and just party and like get drunk.
Absolutely, we'd have to because
we can just set up the own venue, and then I've thought of that for a while. Like
why do I
gotta keep bringing talent when like we could literally just bring the talent and do a show and
why haven't we done that?
I don't know. Things on.
Well, I mean, you want to make money too.
Well, we could still. You just gotta set it up the way that we do. Like
So what would we do?
You either ticket it. You find a percentage from the booze sales, or it's a charity to something, or it's.
What would we play? What
do you mean? What would you play?
I mean, like, what would we do? Like, who would we bring?
What do you mean? Like, you don't need anybody super special.
Us.
If I bring somebody super special, like let's say you and Salisbury just play something. We just set up a good party somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Is that what
in
we're
the trees? Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Why not?
Hell yeah.
Set up a.
We just gotta. Hey, we're gonna jam.
But here's
have
the deal.
A party. Come on.
You just gotta gate it. Like all we gotta do is make the coolest party on the planet. But then you gate it. Just make sure that we can close it in one way or another, and then you go, okay, it's $5 a head or whatever it is.
Right.
But we could still do that.
Or we could just have Ray cook up some bomb barbecue, and that's how we'd make some money too.
Well, then Ray makes his money, but he should make his money. Each person
he
should
wouldn't care. He'd give it all.
I know he would give it all away, but fucking Ray needs to make his own damn money. But we need
he's making plenty of money.
We need to. Yeah, that's something I've thought of a bit. I mean,
we need to do that before the summer's over.
Okay, so here's something you see all the time: DJs just fucking crushing a crowd,
right?
And they're making more than your average rock band right now.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the things I DJ, I'm like, press and play. Here comes George Strait. Here comes this. Here comes that. Well, I can actually do the turntables too, and like just do an actual dance party.
Yeah.
Which I'm not incredibly great at it, but I can keep a party fucking rocking. So we could set up our own party and just like claim that it's going to be a fucking party, and that's it.
You think it would go down during the pandemic? I mean, it did on Tuesday. Jesus Christ.
All right, I got a deal. Just make it a Halloween party. They all wear masks.
Oh, right. Well, shit, masks are like...
Halloween in August.
Masks are like the new fashion, so it's not that big of a deal.
So you got to wear a mask. How much shit are you going to wear? Are you going to get if you just...
I wouldn't even say that.
Wear around a Donald
If someone
Trump
wear a
mask.
mask, I'd just be like, cool, you got a mask. Hey, good deal.
Wear a bandana.
Right?
The only thing I hate about the mask is just today at the store, I started talking to a kid that I thought was some other kid, and it wasn't him.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, that wasn't you, was it? He's like, I'm like, damn.
I know, dude. I did that too one day. Went in, I was like, so I just talked to your mom on the phone. She said I could leave this package in your car. And he's like, you're so-and-so, right?
Yeah,
he's like, no, that's over here. I'm like, oh.
This kid looked at me like,
sorry. Who'd you think it was, Carter?
No.
Oh.
No, different. I'm not going to call him out because it would be pretty obvious, I think.
Well, but God. Yeah, I would. That'd be so much fun, dude. Just to have a party where we just jammed. Not for anything. No pressure.
Yeah.
Just come have a good time. But promote it to where people would come do it.
Get people to show up, yeah.
Not just hey, we're having a party.
I've been thinking the same thing about, like, doing a skate contest or a skate jam and then putting music along with it. But there's enough good skaters in Montana now.
Oh, dude,
that if we put up some real money, we'd get some real skaters. Of course, I mean, Malta isn't going to do that great in it yet. But if we put up some real money, that's fun to watch.
Oh,
like,
dude,
I mean, that's
that
good
day in
entertainment.
Lewistown,
Yeah,
that was
dude,
nuts,
to watch,
man. I just sitting around that bowl.
That's what I'm saying.
Was epic.
We'll get guys that's fun to watch, and you have music, and people can sit around and have their good time.
Music, food.
Yeah.
Would it be a BYOBE or what would that?
Either way.
That would be a big money maker, but who are you going to get to do that? I mean,
the bar makes the money.
Bullet or the Mint would do it, I mean.
Yeah, Susan would probably do it.
She would be all about that.
But
I can't go
Yeah.
down there and drink without her coming up and being, "Why can't you gonna come fucking play?"
well,
Jesus,
this weekend, how about?
I'm gone.
Mm.
I would do it.
We'll
Next
just put
weekend,
videos
though,
of you
dude.
on the jukebox TV.
I would do it next weekend for sure.
I'm gone Friday. I'll be here Saturday, I think.
This Saturday or next Saturday?
Next Saturday.
Yeah, I would come do
I think
it.
next Friday. I think I gotta go take my mom somewhere.
I would do it next Saturday, man.
That'd be fun.
I don't even want paid. I would just come play. That was fun when I used to do that.
Yeah, just at least throw your guitar case out and be like, tips.
You fucking play too.
Well, I got a bartend if it's
Oh,
on
you're
Saturday.
working
Yeah,
Dude, I would take over for 5 minutes while you played a song.
you should come bartend.
Everyone would be cool if you would just... I'd be like, Travis is playing a fucking song, everyone. Sip your drinks for the next 5 minutes.
Kumbaya.
Yeah.
Ma.
You come up there and kill him with some blime or something, you know? Just...
It'd be fun to do.
Have you seen that movie Legend?
Will Smith?
No, Legend
don't think
with
so.
Tom Hardy.
Uh-uh.
It's based off the true story of the Cray twins in London, and from the 50s to the 60s, they were gangsters.
Nope.
Pretty much ran the
I know
fucking
nothing
city.
about it.
Such a badass movie.
Really?
It's on Netflix.
Better write it down.
Write it down.
Write it on the
You
whiteboard.
should probably watch it tonight, actually. It's like my favorite fucking movie right now.
Really? That good, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
But if nobody cheered, I'd walk up to him and be like, fucking sing, you know, like I'd make them do it.
No, I think we could, even if we the biggest thing about Malta is I haven't found the perfect venue yet. You know what? The Sleeping Buffalo Barn is almost the perfect venue.
Dude, that place is dope.
But everybody's got to drive back to Malta or get a place to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So we could either start the biggest camp out of everybody brings a tent on the golf course. And, well, so the only way that works out is if we get whatever the fuck the concoction is that Malta's spraying for mosquitoes right now to spray out there.
Dude, that stuff is
I've
like
never had a
super
year.
juice.
It doesn't smell
It's
like
like
the stuff
Zeus,
last year.
like, came down and
Dude, I
pissed
don't
all
know.
over everything or something.
Maybe they got
like,
those little micro mosquitoes that came and bred with the ones they all died. But
I don't know, but
whatever
they
they're
are
spraying,
gone.
and I've rode my skateboard right through that mist on accident on my electric skateboard, and it didn't stink at all. It didn't smell anything like the malathion or whatever they were using before.
See, you know what's funny is like the last 2 times that truck's been coming around. One of the times, all of the girls were still outside, and I was like, "Oh, hurry up, let's
They
get
freak out.
inside!"
Yeah, get inside. It stinks.
And he turned it off right as he was getting like towards the house, but it still kind of carried. But I hardly smelled it
You
at
don't-
all.
yeah, there's nothing there.
I could smell something,
but it's not-
near as bad. To
I wonder
where
if it's like more deadly.
it wasn't near as bad like in the past when I'd smell it, I would instantly just get pissed.
I'm
Like
sure
I almost would
somebody-
have dealt with mosquitoes
Same.
and have to smell that fucking
Same.
shit.
And the mosquitoes were still nuts anyway.
Yeah. And
I
by
know-
the end of the year, they were like super mosquitoes,
They're-
and all that shit did was piss them off, like
Even-
wake them up for the night.
100% DEET didn't even piss them off. Like, didn't even stop them.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
No,
But this new stuff, it's
I haven't felt mosquitoes. It's unbelievable.
I have not even had to slap my legs in town the last... Dude, when we left for Libby, that was the end of last month. That's right when they started using it. And the
Yep.
mosquitoes were terrible. I remember at night, like, there'd be a certain time. If we didn't want to douse the girls in mosquito spray, we'd bring them inside.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we got back. That was one of the nice things I remember saying. I was like, well, at least the mosquitoes aren't bad. They weren't bad when we left Libby. They're not bad.
They were worse than Zortman this week.
Like, after the first game of softball I played, or that the team played, I missed. I remember Chris was telling me, he's like, mosquitoes were so bad, I wanted to just quit.
I want to know what they are.
And we went back down there,
I got a
and it
piece
was
so
just
fucking
terrible.
bad. Anyway, good work, City. Whatever you're using, I hope we don't all
Wonderful.
die from it, but it works great.
Anger grows in my bones if you could not tell. Well, I'll find comfort in company. Fuck. It's recording, I can't do it.
I'm sorry to ruin it. Dude, you were killing it so good.
As soon as he hear it.
I know. I knew
I'll
it.
find comfort in company. smiling like a vandal. Waking up warm with you in a room that's too cold for us to handle. And in this shack I'm living in, you don't mind sleeping in, eating food left over from last night. There's plenty boys that want you, girl. Before me you will crawl, scratch and fight. So we'll go out on Saturday, ride the Bronco around the bay, sit and drink cerveza by the shore. You tell me you love me, girl, even if I'm wrecked, lonely and poor. So don't give up on me. You don't care where I'm buying your ring. Girls today just drink all day and fall in love with any boy they see. You're a sight of utmost beauty, utmost strength, and utmost loyalty. So I'll sit here and drink all night and talk about the Lord's delight in you. If my mama could just see you laugh, I know that she would see the shine in you. She'd say thanks for taking care of her baby boy, 'cause she can't be here, and hug you till your little lungs turn blue. No, I won't give up on you. No, I won't give up on you.
Fuck yeah. We can hear you through that mic, Noah. You're a goddamn champion, man.
Thanks,
That
Thank you.
the
I
cool,
fucked it up a few
the
times.
coolest thing hit in the middle too, because that recording started as you did flub your thing just a bit, but right before that, Noah was crushing the shit out of a song. I ran in and hurried up and hit record just to see, like, because he goes, give me a practice one. So I hit record. He flubbed it up a bit. I stopped record, came back in, stopped record.
Immediately.
He just
fucked it up.
immediately goes back into just crushing the shit out of it, and literally played something that would make like I was standing out in the garage, made my hair on my legs and my arms stand on end, and I came back in and I said, what if when you hit record, what if that, like, the best musicians ever play your best around your buddies? I go, what if that wasn't meant for the rest of the world? What if nobody else was meant to hear that? What if that, like, and then I come back in and record that. But no, you're a goddamn weapon, son.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that.
Unbelievably good. The first one, the reason I ran in and hit the first one was because he was playing it so good that, like, if we actually got that full recording, he'd probably be on CMT tomorrow or some shit. It was that fucking good. Yeah, see, like everybody else in here heard that.
I'll try another
But
one if you don't.
unbelievably fun. Yeah, get one now.
Let's see here. I don't want to send a postcard from the edge of a place I've never been. stars in the back of a beat up old canteen. And I don't wanna love a girl who doesn't worry about the pictures when we kiss. And I wake up one day and I'll be so hit and miss. Lay in bed all day and call that shit pure bliss. 'Cause I'm moving at God's speed, where only God and my mama know what I need. And I feel the hardwood floors on my knees as I beg you just to take it easy on me. 'Cause I'm moving at God's speed. And I don't wanna see the road melt into the mountains away as I drive, and make it out of this damn town alive, and not let the dreams I shoulder die. 'Cause I'm moving at God's speed, where only God and my mama know what I need. And I feel the hardwood floors on my knees as I beg you just to take it easy on me. And I don't wanna die an old man with messed up stories of me and all my old friends, laugh about how we all thought it won't end, and how we all wind up where we begin. Moving at God's speed, where only God and our mamas know what we need, and we feel the hardwood floors on our knees as we beg the world to bring us to our feet. Moving at God's speed. That's pretty much it. That's the essence.
Dude. God damn.
Thank you.
Son.
Telling you, dude, this Zach Bryan guy, these are his songs I'm singing. He's fucking amazing.
Zach
He's a
Bryan
gift
apparently
from
writes a
above
great
to write music.
So are you. You just haven't found that writer gene yet. But
Right.
I believe in you. Dude, you got a fucking voice of an angel.
Thanks, bud.
That was good.
Thank you.
I'm telling you, like, that one was good, but if you guys could have heard the 15 seconds before I hit record the first time, and I don't even feel like an asshole for it. I feel like that, like I knew that it was that good, that don't miss it. But what if?
Sometimes.
No, I know, but I'm like, what if that's the point? What if that's the point of why?
Could have been.
When you hit the record button, I mean, maybe eventually you get so good at hitting the record button that you do your best every time, or even better. But I bet even this guy that wrote that song has played a better jam with his buddies on the bus.
Oh, dude, I guarantee it.
That's what I mean. Like, it was that damn good. Not that
When you feel comfortable around everybody that you're playing with.
feeling comfortable while you're playing is a really tough thing to ever get. At least for me.
Well, I was feeling good until you hit, and I seen the red go, and I was
Dude,
like,
I knew.
fuck.
I know, but you said, so listen. The only reason I did it was because you said this is going to be a warm-up, and I was like, well, if I hit record on his startup, then he's going to do that when the record button hits. So I want to get the bink, bink, bink out of it
Good
first,
thinking.
and then he plays a good one right as soon as we
You
do.
ripped it. Ripped it. Good.
Thank you.
You know? You
Thanks,
what,
boys.
You got another one or what? 10 more? Fuck it,
I'll
play
try
10
one
more.
more.
Yeah.
You know what happened?
What's that?
I'm going to call you out, too.
Don't.
No, you know why I'm going to call you out?
Why?
Because his wife called or texted, and then he said, damn, we're doing a damn good podcast. And we both knew we were. And a damn good podcast is worth it.
And he's getting a little late.
And
we're
then
gonna go
he's
to
like-
Belgrade, and I was like, you know what? Fuck.
He
it.
didn't even ask to play guitar until Jay asked him to play one. But then Noah goes, you know what? Just for that, I'm going to play a couple love songs, honey.
Hey,
He's like that.
thanks, bud.
But goddamn, he's good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very good. Very
With
good.
that, Kelsey, those were for you.
Yeah, one more. This one's for you too.
Another one, too.
I'm all about them.
I was
band
waiting for an
rappers,
alien.
you
I was
know?
waiting for a. What was the
What?
I was waiting for a heavy metal song. This one.
Oh, dude, just wait.
Oh, okay.
That comes
No,
in a
I'm
little
just
later.
kidding. I'm kidding. Sorry. Basil Hayden, thank you for this
Get her,
podcast.
buddy. Get her.
I heard you like to go out late at night, dancing in the emerald of the northern light. Heard you were home by the creek in the floor, your foot silhouette under a bedroom door. You're driving me home at 7 a.m., hand in mine like a heaven sent hand, moving and shaking like the ramblers do, helps me get through the days I never thought I'd get through. But you bring heaven down to me, coursing through my blood as I breathe. I bet the angels are jealous of a girl I know. She takes my stain and makes me white as snow. White as snow. I hear Jesus makes sin white as linen, like the sheets that we're in your teeth when you're grinning. Take it away and you give it to God, like the night you dumped out all the liquor I bought. There's a way the grass smells on a summer night when it's freshly cut, the moisture's right. It's times like these in the August heat, I think the devil's just another boy I can be. But you bring heaven down to me, coursing through my blood as I breathe. I bet the angels are jealous of a girl I know. She takes my stain and makes me white as snow. White as snow. You bring heaven down to me, coursing through my blood I breathe. I bet the angels are jealous of a girl I know. She takes my stain and makes me white as snow. White as snow.
All right, Adam Levine, save some girls for the rest of us. I'm just kidding. Holy shit, Noah, you're good.
Thanks, buddy.
Fucking high five again.
Hey,
Jesus,
Air 5,
man.
Air 5, clean across the table.
That guy sent those songs so you could play them.
I feel the same, brother.
Dude, that was good. That was really fucking good.
I feel like I finally found a dude I could copy that.
I found what... I accidentally cut the mic when you said that.
Yeah, dude.
I'm kidding. Hey, we got a couple more mics in here, and welcome to the podcast, my brother, Jay Rhoads, for the first time. Hold on. There, now your mic's a little bit live. Just say hi. That's all you got to do.
Well, hello.
You couldn't imagine. Royce?
Hello.
Jeez, you could hear. We found our bass player, and Justin.
Yeah, I'm around.
He's way. You can talk into that one if you want.
Yeah, I'm around here.
And Steph.
Here, we're gonna
She won't say anything.
we're
She
gonna
watched,
shrink
though.
this one up a little bit. We're gonna get Royce
Noah
right in here.
was playing a song about a girl, and Steph walked in the middle. I was a little worried, like, like something. And then I was like, wait, nah, just at least it isn't 4 dudes standing around drooling how good he can play. For
Hey,
fuck's
brother,
sakes.
you know what blows me away though? This Noah. This
All right, you want another? You got another one? I can tell. I can see he's got another one.
This guy can produce.
No, I've been saying that for years. No, and I've always known that, dude, you're a
He-
stud. We've known it, but
No,
I
you're
feel
good,
naked
bud.
as shit sitting here trying to act cool enough to make you play the song right without like kicking something in time or
He just-
something, you know?
You watch him. You watch Noah though when he sits there and he plays that guitar and stuff. He just feels it. It's come from the heart. Like he just does it. It's all.
Give us
natural
another
to
one.
him.
You gotta go for it, or just doesn't
Just
sound right.
still gonna send it.
Yeah,
No, I'm just.
it's just all natural. Like it just flows through. Like it's there.
All right, you
Well,
got one.
I only really found that in like the last like 3 years probably too.
Well-
Like, I used to sing and play, and I was really kind of just. I'm still kind of like that.
We said before, it takes time. You learn the whole thing.
I know. Right.
You really
Right.
got to get into it if you want it to sound the way you.
You
right
see,
now, I ain't gonna lie to you. Right now, you are killing it. That was awesome. That was freaking cool.
you do see some guys that, like we said, you know, sometimes like you'll hit a good one between you or I or
Right.
family or somebody around. But then again, you see other guys that come up and just play their song almost the same every time because they're that fucking good.
Right.
And all it takes is a ball sack full of repetition, like so much. Seriously, but attaboy.
And I just learned
If you got another one,
2 weeks ago.
I really gotta go out there. If you got another
Yeah,
one.
I think. No, you gonna rip one
No
more?
one?
Let me think of one.
Alien weaponry on the acoustic.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's what I was waiting for. That's why I was like,
I
no,
can't speak in Maori, but
I can't either.
that's a good one. You don't have to.
I believe in anything he does. I really got to pee, but I don't trust the rest of you guys to run this board either, other than Noah. No.
Can you pause it?
Yeah, I can pause it. But that'd be lame, because what if something cool happens?
Hey, brother, brother.
All right, I'll pause it.
Brother.
Turns out we're back. Noah's on mic 3 now, so
Hey,
Sorry.
We
I
had-
sound just the
You-
same.
Do you want this?
you do.
Nope.
No, and we actually got my brother Jay in here too.
Or do you
But
want
he's not-
the-
he's talking
or do
to the
you
mic
want the one
completely
with the
wrong.
beer koozie?
Time out. We
Nah.
gotta teach him. Jay, pick
not my
your mic
style.
up. Your mic has a little mouth hole on one side, and just talk into the side of it. Pick it up.
Hello.
Yeah, that's good. Do that. You don't have to talk into the top of it. Talk right in the side of it like mine.
I'll just put it to my ear and I.
No, not your ear, you dummy.
Well,
You
then
got
I
headphones
can hear
on.
you guys.
Damn it. Just give the mic to Steph. Anyway, Noah
Yeah,
rushed back just so that we could finish this podcast because I told him that, like, if he played that good and then didn't finish the podcast, I didn't know what else I was going to do with.
No, I had to get back here. It's crucial.
Crucial.
All right, back to aliens. No.
Yeah. No, don't get me started
We
on
did- we
that
went-
shit again.
We went deep into aliens long before any guitars come out or anything.
We did. They're out there
Damn fun.
right now.
We should probably be laying on the roof.
They're eyeballing you right now.
We should do a podcast.
They are all the time.
That-
We should
they're
do a
just-
podcast from the roof.
They're all sitting up there going, "Hey, is Noah gonna play a tune or not?"
I don't know about that.
I guarantee they're all up there just.
Fuck. If I start playing more, they're gonna get tired of me. Just get rid of me.
I always wondered that too. I'm like, do they get sick of that of me refining that same riff over and over and over? Like,
That would be neat though to just sit up there and talk the whole time over it. Holy shit! Did you see that one?
we should do one from the roof.
There's a fucking alien right there. I just seen it. Just flew over.
It's gonna have to
waving
be you
at
and
me.
I, though,
seen
'cause
him in the cockpit. He was like this.
The rest of our friends are gonna be crazy if we do it on our own or we
Yeah.
bring somebody in. They're gonna be like, the fuck.
We'll have to broadcast it somehow.
I thought about tonight. I really thought about throwing this one on Facebook Live with just the phone up there, and just doing it instead of.
I'm glad you
Recording it.
didn't.
It'd have been a good one.
I'm really glad you didn't.
Well, see, your insight would be so much better if you knew it was live on Facebook. You'd come back and be like, you know what I know? You'd be all prim and proper.
You don't even want to know about the aliens I've met.
Oh, there's aliens, no doubt.
I'm dating one right now.
Kidding me?
Oh, I ain't gonna.
What'd you get her from? Planet Save Your Ass?
No, it's called Planet Mint Bar.
Planet Mint Bar.
You lived in the mountains? You ever have any experiences with the little people?
They both lived in the mountains.
I didn't
He came
know
from
that.
he came from Landusky.
I didn't know. Well, come on, you know what I'm saying? I think I did.
Maybe. She says.
I think I did too.
Are you guys talking about Carol and her sisters? Because
No, little people, like knee high.
Hey,
Knee high but vicious.
Okay, just checking, babe. I love you.
Smaller than that, even.
Like Jose will kick your ass. I don't care what you
Yeah,
say.
he's large.
large and in charge.
Long. Large.
Long. No.
12th son of the Lama.
Hey, do you see that fire going on in Landusky tonight or this morning?
I did see a video of it. I heard that last I heard from a semi-reliable source, they were mopping it up. And that semi-reliable source has been known to lie about something before. But on an issue like this, I think he's pretty correct. If you knew who I was talking about, the rest of you'd be laughing too.
Well, I believe you.
I'm laughing just because you're laughing, but I don't know what the
Well,
fuck
I'm
you're
just thinking
laughing
like there's
about.
multiple people that
Larry.
could.
Oh, Larry. Oh, Larry.
Anyway, yeah.
Just getting her finished up out here.
Yeah.
He's going to hit the old side of the mountain, take her down. All the way.
He'll make that fire his bitch.
I have faith in him.
He will. You watch.
Just him and a dozer.
It'll happen.
Him and a dozer in a creek.
I believe in him. Whether the mountain had burned down or not, Larry would finish the job. And he always will. That son of a bitch. He's the one guy you can call when you got a dirty job.
You are right about that.
Yep.
One more?
What?
I don't know. You got to save the end of this podcast somehow.
The song?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
give
don't know
us
what
the
to play.
We just say goodnight and
Oh,
then Noah
whatever.
plays us out.
I mean, yeah, we could do that. I just got to think of.
I didn't even call you back to make you do that. I just thought that.
Well, that'll be a good way to end it.
Deep into aliens and then end it.
No. I'll play.
You ain't got an
That's
alien
better.
song or something?
We got to switch mics if you're going to play, though.
All right.
Pause. Last in 6 months. I don't think we did that bad.
No.
But Noah did go drop Lily off real quick and come back just to play a song. And I think it's only fair if he honors Johnny Hould.
Absolutely.
Let's hear it.
Can't you hear me? I'm talking to you. Can't you see me? If you can, well, I don't believe you. I'm driving around, looking at the windows down, light a cigarette and
Damn, yeah.
Kind of choked.
No,
halfway through there, literally.
golden. No, I heard you. You choked on that paper on your tongue. Is what like that was.
It was perfect.
Now there'll be a conspiracy behind that podcast.
Exactly. They're gonna be like, remember that time when
Remember the time that Noah was putting? Never mind.
he had paper on his tongue and he choked?
It was. That was good. I miss Johnny.
Yeah.
Miss old John Denver.
John.
Get your ass back here, John Denver.
John, come down from wherever you're at.
Yeah,
Come
easy.
back. Where is he?
The
Is he
one-
on the moon? I
the
always
one
hear
alien-
Johnny's on the moon.
Yeah. The one alien that I know.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why.
Hey, I turned Jay's mic way up. Can you tell what he's speaking through his mind at this point?
I can read.
Me neither.
Really well.
I'm kidding. My brother's on the other side of the mic. I did try to turn it up for a minute, but no, you don't make me cut it out. It's my goddamn podcast. I'm kidding.
That was a
It's okay,
great
Jade.
podcast.
He said the BV got him, but you almost got me too. I came in and I was like,
heartstrings a little bit tonight.
dude, those guitar strings need change so bad.
Nothing wrong with the Belknap violence.
What? I'm glad that your mic was not up for that. Jeez. I'm kidding. Thanks, Noah.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me.
You're
That
goddamn
was
champ.
great.
That was fun as shit. Let's do it more
We
often.
covered some good points before we started jamming.
Before we started drinking
Great.
too heavy,
Yeah,
dude.
that too.
But
We got some shit accomplished tonight.
perfect. Thank you, Montarctica. We're out. And
Good
honestly,
gods.
if podcast on Saturday works out, you guys will enjoy it. I promise.